This is the checkers game where grandson and granddad will bond. This is the kitchen where the new boyfriend
Hey, I was muted. What a great way to start. How's everybody doing today? It's good to see you. I apologize for the random ad in the background there. Trying to have some nice background music, but you can't exist without ads these days. Anyway, speaking of that background music, what you're hearing right now is from free to use music on YouTube. The artist's credit is in the description of this live stream, so if you go to the playlist there, you can see all those. I'm gonna go ahead and turn off the music for now, since we really don't need it anymore. Because we've got other things to listen to and watch. How exciting. This is... Man, I love Rare Disease Day. This is my favorite thing to do every year. Something that I always look forward to doing. And I'm excited to actually be an official Nord volunteer. I'm not here officially for Nord today. I just wanted to share that I recently started volunteering as one of Indiana's co-ambassadors for the Rare Action Network. So I'm doing really great advocacy work for patients with rare diseases in my state. And just in general, this is something that I've been enjoying doing for many years, patient advocacy in general. I started out advocating specifically for my rare disease, septo-optic dysplasia, which I'll talk about during the stream. But I also, now that I'm volunteering for NORD, am just advocating for rare diseases in general. So today we're going to talk about what it's like to live with a rare disease, some statistics about rare diseases, such as these. There are over 7,000 rare diseases, if you include rare cancers, bacterial and viral infections on top of, genetic disorders and whatnot. And roughly 1 in 10 Americans has a rare disease. So if you think about it, it's really not all that rare, But all of these conditions can be so isolating at times because it's really difficult to meet other people that have a rare condition. Like, take me for example, the septo-optic dysplasia. I've only met maybe 3 or 4 people with my condition online. I've never met anybody in person that has my exact diagnosis. And that can feel really isolating at times. But knowing that there are other people that have a rare disease where there's a lot of overlap, between some of our patient experiences when it comes to barriers to access to care and things like that. You know, it can be, you can find a really great community even among folks that don't share the same exact diagnosis as you. And we're going to learn a little bit about other rare diseases. I'm gonna check out the official Rare Disease Day website here. They've got a page for reading patient stories, so we're gonna hop over to that. And I'm gonna read as many of these stories out loud as I possibly can later on in the stream. But for now, we're gonna start out with some informative videos telling you a little bit about what Rare Disease Day is, and a little bit about NORD, which is the rare disease nonprofit that I volunteer for. Again, I'm not here as an official NORD representative. This is just my personal stream that I love to do every year. They're not endorsing this or anything like that. So just a quick disclaimer there, I'm not here on behalf of NORD, but I'm going to talk about them a lot because I think they're great. So we're going to watch the official Rare Disease Day video for 2021. I'm going to go ahead and bring that up here and enjoy.
I am Tristan.
Angelina.
Nama saya Syafiq.
Regina.
Habari asubuhi, Javi.
Jeg Jon Christian, og jeg bor I Norge.
I live in the United States of America.
In Australia.
Malaysia.
No Brasil.
Tunaishi Kenya.
My passion is for fashion and design.
I love to dance.
Menyusur hutan.
Para viajar e descobrir novas culturas.
Anapenda kunitazama nikipuliza mapovu.
Jeg elsker idrett og spille spill med familien min. Minhas paixões são minha fuga quando as coisas estão difíceis.
Ada hari-harinya apabila melakukan perkara yang biasa akan jadi sangat susah.
When your disease makes you feel isolated.
It's difficult to walk.
Å være med på laget.
When I'm tired.
Afraid.
O controle da doença pode ser desafiador.
Atau mengecewakan bila saya kehilangan masa.
Muda muhimu sana.
But we learned to be resilient.
Para apreciar os pequenos detalhes que me trazem alegria.
Kumwona mtoto wangu wa kiume anavyofurahi tunapoenda nje. Nikijua anasikiza hadithi na sauti zilizo karibu.
Mencari titik perhubungan dengan masyarakat yang tak pernah saya sedar wujud.
Å være uavhengig på grunn av menneskene rundt meg.
Their fierce support.
Sua bondade inabalável.
They're big love.
Mine venner.
Keluarga.
Enfermeiras.
Doctors.
Support workers.
Assistenter.
Mashirika ya wagonjwa.
Together, we are a strong community.
Nimeweza kuelekewa.
Histórias compartilhadas que me libertaram das dúvidas. Og gav meg selvtillit.
I am Tristan. I live with sickle cell.
I'm Angelina.
And she has CASC, a neurological disorder.
Saya Syafiq dan saya hidup dengan ectodermal dysplasia.
Regina, eu tinha leiomiosarcoma, câncer raro.
Huyu ni Harvey, ana SMA, spinal muscular atrophy.
Jon Christian og jeg har OI, medfødt benskjørhet. Esta minha vida.
Suara saya.
And I am more than my disease.
We are rare.
Kami ramai.
Nós somos fortes.
And we are proud.
Zach, good morning! Good to see ya. Ding dong to you right back in the chat. Oh no! I don't know. I'm sorry. Nightbot, I guess, is little iffy there. I apologize. I didn't realize he'd be bringing down that banhammer so hard. But hey, now that we've got people in the chat, Zach, if you would like, this is when I'm going to go ahead and announce that I'm going to be giving away a free copy of the game Valheim during this stream today. It's a game that I've been enjoying playing a lot lately, and I'll be playing that later on. I know, Zach, you said one thing, and Nightbot is just not having it. I'm so sorry. I wonder if I can... I don't want to do that on stream. Maybe I'll do it during my first break that I take. I'll really quick pop over to the Nightbot settings and tell him to calm down a little bit, because that was pretty extreme. But anyway, thanks for stopping by. I know it's really late where you're at in Australia right now, so I understand if you can't stick around. But I believe the giveaway is ready to start. Anybody who wants to enter the giveaway, all you have to do is type giveaway in the chat. Zach, it looks like it says you're eligible. I don't know if but you didn't type giveaway. Weird. Anyway, well, we're gonna see how this goes. This is my first time hosting a YouTube live stream with a giveaway on it, so hopefully this goes well. If anything, I've got a list of your names and the comments and stuff. If I have to choose, put your names into a winner, a giveaway generator, or by hand, I will do that. But anyway, I'll be giving away a free copy of Valheim. I've been enjoying playing that a lot lately. I'll be playing that later on during the stream after I do a big introduction about Rare Disease Day, which I'm about to get into now. All you have to do to enter to win is just type giveaway in the chat. I apologize if I seem a little bit scatterbrained. I've got a lot going on here. Okay, cool. I don't know why that started auto-playing. Okay, so anyway, we just watched the official Rare Disease Day video for 2021. I've talked a little bit about what a rare disease is, and actually, no, I didn't. Okay, so a rare disease is a condition which affects 1 in about 200,000 people. So if you have a condition that affects 1 in 200,000 people, your condition is considered rare. And that can be, there are a wide variety of rare diseases. I did mention that there are about 7,000 different kinds. And unfortunately, many of those don't even have treatments available, or approved by the FDA anyway. So that's something that the rare disease nonprofits that I support are really working to improve, access to care, access to treatments, discovery of new treatments through research. I'll play some videos later on about how you can get involved in clinical trials and research to help with your rare disease, help further research into your rare disease. So that's going to be really informative. I'll be playing those videos during my second break later on during the stream. I'll be stepping away for about 15-20 minutes, and I'll be letting those videos autoplay while I'm taking my break. I type it, but I don't want to rob someone's chance to... No, it's okay. I mean, if you don't want to enter because you don't think you'll play it, that's totally understandable. But don't feel like you have to hold back to let somebody else win. I don't know how many people are going to join the stream today. You could be the only one. So just feel free. If you'd like to enter to win a copy of the game Valheim, just type giveaway in the chat, and you'll get it. But, let's see. Yeah, and like I said, I will be playing Valheim later on in the stream when I need to kill a little bit of time, because I intend to stream for a long time. But right now, off the topic of Valheim, back onto rare diseases. That's what we're here for. I love Rare Disease Day. It gives me an opportunity to really open up about what I go through personally as a patient and share what other patients of rare diseases go through, in their day-to-day lives. So that's what we're here to focus on today. I've got a couple more videos to show. So let's hop on over to the next one. This is the official Rare Disease Day 2021 UK video. So, play this.
Rare is sometimes painful.
Okay, lady, okay.
Often unseen.
Life-saving drugs.
Always present.
Go on, Harry.
My days are absent of sound, yet COVID taught me some new things about silence.
Rare is brave.
Ready?
Determined. Finds joy in the little things.
Hello.
Lovely video. They did a
Hi,
really good job on
everybody.
that. Alright, Bob Saget, hold on just a second and I will let you speak. Yeah, so great job on that video from the, I believe Eurodis must have been the one to make that. There was actually a credit at the end of that video and I didn't notice it. I apologize. But before we move on to the next video, I want to go ahead and point out up here, you can see I've got TweetDeck open showing all of the tweets with the hashtag Rare Disease Day. I do have a little bit of a vetting process in there to kind of keep trolling down. But if you use the hashtag Rare Disease Day to promote Rare Disease Day, you might show up on there. So if you'd like to get involved, please, or just do that anyway. Raise awareness. Type, hashtag Rare Disease Day and nothing else if you want. Let's just get the word out there. People will click on it. They'll look into it and see what it's all about. if you've got a rare disease yourself, tell us a little bit about what your rare disease is. Share your story. Again, you know, hashtag show your stripes. That's another one that's going around. This is the day to do it, so I'm really excited to get involved in that. So please share your story using the hashtag Rare Disease Day hashtag. On Twitter, Facebook. I'm not really looking at the Facebook feeds right now, but I've got Twitter up there, and I'm happy to share that. Yeah, I think that's it for that spiel. This is a great cameo video that Bob Saget did for Rare Disease Day for Nord. So let's watch this.
Hi everybody, Bob Saget here, and I've been asked to do this message by Nord, and I'm proud to do it because it's about rare diseases. And I had a sister that passed from scleroderma, which is a rare disease. It affects hundreds of thousands of people, but as you know, there are diseases that affect tens of thousands of people or even less in the world. And that's what this is about, to support those people. So do you know that more than 25 million Americans live with a rare disease? I didn't know that. And the National Organization for Rare Disorders, NORD, is the U.S. sponsor of Rare Disease Day on February 28, 2021. So join me in wearing stripes to show support for rare community, and use hashtag show your stripes and hashtag Rare Disease Day. So this is going to be February 28th, 2021. Wear stripes and do it to show support for your rare disease community. And then hashtag it online at hashtag show your stripes and hashtag Rare Disease Day. Wishing you all and all your loved ones good health. Thanks.
Yeah, so thank you, Bob Saget. That was a wonderful video. And yeah, like you said, we're in stripes today. I've got zebra stripes, but regular old stripes also count. I've also got my zebra beret that I'm going to be putting on here in a second after we watch all of these videos here. And then I can take off my headphones and, you know, hear things again. Okay. These are great headphones, by the way. Totally noise canceling. Every time I talk, it's very strange. So, one more video to watch, and this is about Nord's Rare Action Network. So this is how you can get involved. And you can type !action in the chat at any time to get a link to the Rare Action Network's website. This is a group within the US that was created by Nord to help organize rare disease patients and activists in every state. We're working on getting representatives in every state. I am one of 2 representatives for the state of Indiana. I'm very excited to be working with them. They're doing wonderful things. So we're going to learn a little bit about what the Rare Action Network is and how you can get involved with this video. Ooh, you're wearing stripes today! Yes, thank you, Zach. Please do. Yay! I type it. I don't want to... Oh, I already read that, chat. Just ignored the last 2 seconds there. Alright. Alright, so let's watch this video about Nord's Rare Action Network. I absolutely love this group. Can't say enough wonderful things about it, and you're about to see why.
The Nord Rare Action Network is the nation's leading rare disease advocacy network, working to improve the lives of over 25 million Americans impacted by rare disease. Our mission is to connect and empower people and organizations with the tools, training, and resources to become effective advocates for patients with rare diseases. Our community ranges from patients to their families, caregivers, and friends, from researchers to industry, to healthcare providers and academia. RAN members help address issues of state and national concern and engage their local communities to take action through policy, awareness, and education campaigns. To help drive these efforts, we launched a State Ambassador program, putting our volunteers in a leadership position. State ambassadors establish and build a strong grassroots network of rare disease advocates within their state to help increase awareness of rare diseases and the challenges patients and their families face. State ambassadors serve as liaisons between NORD, their state networks, and rare disease policy decision makers. Our goal is to ensure that the rare disease community is represented and supported in all 50 states and at all levels of government. Get involved and make a difference. Join the Rare Action Network today.
And again, that's in the US. Zach, I know you're over in Australia land, but anybody in the US who's interested in joining the Rare Action Network, let me go ahead and type that. Come on, Nightbot, I know you can do it. Oh no, is it not working? Hold on. I'm glad I decided to test that because maybe it doesn't work for me. Zach, can you do me a favor? Type action in the chat. See if Nightbot will work. Let me see here. I'm glad that I decided to test that out because that would be unfortunate. There it goes. Okay, cool. So I can't do it for some reason. I don't know how Nightbot works. I apologize. But if you thank you, Zach, for doing that. Hey, yeah. So if you want to click on that link, if you're in the United States and you're interested in learning about how you can join the Rare Action Network, just click on that link. It'll take you to rareaction.org. And from there, you can find your state and learn how you can get involved. You can sign up for your state's newsletter. Every state has... we don't have anything for Indiana planned right now, but we're working on it. But we try to have like video calls online where if you have a rare disease, you can join in and chat with us. We do this through Zoom. We've had a few of those, and they've been really great, where we just come together and chat about life in our state with a rare disease and connect with other rare disease patients to form a really good, strong community. Really helps with that feeling of isolation that you can get when you have a rare disease. Even if nobody else in the group has the same condition that you've got, there's a lot of overlap, a lot of similar experiences when you have a rare disease. So it's really nice to form that community. Okay, so I'm glad that's working. So for now, we're gonna hop on over to the Rare Disease Day website. And we're gonna read some patient stories. So we're gonna talk about, we're gonna learn about a bunch of different rare diseases. Some of these I've never heard of. Actually, most of these I've probably never heard of them. But that's what it means to be rare. So that's why we do this. So we'll learn what it's like to have a different experience within the rare disease community. So let me change my settings around here a little bit so that I can read this a little bit easier. My eyesight is terrible. That's actually a part of my septo-optic dysplasia rare condition. It caused something called optic nerve hypoplasia, and I'll explain this more in detail later on, but for now, I'm gonna read about some other patients. All you need to know at the moment is my eyes are bad, so I've gotta move my settings around here for a second so that I can read these a little bit easier. So bear with me for just a second while I, throw things around. Let's see if I can get this to set up here. Like my easel, I'm using an easel to hold up a Wacom Cintiq this pen display tablet. It's great. It works. Oh, that's up too high now. Hold on. That's not gonna work. I'll just do this. Alright, this is a learning experience. Here we go. Alright, so we'll start with... I've not read any of these stories yet, so this is going to be new for all of us. Miscellaneous crashing, that's what I do best, my friend. Miscellaneous crashing noises. Okay. So, this is a very short one. Let me, really quick, hit that zoom in button a whole bunch of times. Like I said, my eyes are so bad. I've got to have real big text. Okay, my name is Damiani and I'm from Greece. I have NF1. I learned to live with my rare disease. Now I live a better quality of life. Your support is important to all of us with rare diseases. It's a really nice sentiment there, Sharon. And Sharon, your story. I'm not familiar with neurofibromatosis. Maybe we'll encounter another person sharing their story and they'll explain it. Let's see here. Okay. Oh, here's somebody else with neurofibromatosis from Greece as well. So that's interesting. In the same spot. That's pretty rare, right? My name is Lambrini. I live in Greece. I have neurofibrosis type 1. It is not easy to be a patient with neurofibrosis. All patients need a better quality of life. Everyone must learn about NF, and NF patients struggle against NF for a better life every day. I urge you to stand by us. I wonder what NF is. I don't want to waste a whole lot of time just running around trying to Google a bunch of conditions, because that would take a lot of time to wait for loading screens and trying to find a good source to read from. But you know what? Actually, I know a good source. Let's hop on over to see if Nord has anything for that. Okay. Well, they actually have a website, so let's see. I do want to learn about this condition. So, NF1 is a progressive genetic condition that is caused by a mutation or flaw in a particular gene. NF1 is usually diagnosed in early childhood, and it occurs in approximately 1 out of every 3,000 individuals. Okay. Yep, my condition is also a genetic malformation. So I have some small connection there, right? Okay. So, glad I looked that up. I learned something new today. Okay, so this is a story from Leanne. She has idiopathic intracranial hypertension, and they're from the UK. My name is Lan. I'm 56. About 7 years ago, I started to feel... Oh no, I hit a button. I'm sorry. Okay. About 7 years ago, I started to feel ill. Yes, I was overweight, but quite healthy. I started to fall over and had vision loss, and ringing in my ears, and severe headaches. After a routine trip to optician started my journey, I was diagnosed with idiopathic intracranial hypertension. I researched it lots as it was rare and scary. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize I was out of camera. But I have to get real close to the screen to read it. Let me see here. Okay. Let me make the text a little bit bigger too. That'll keep me from having to get as close. That's probably good enough. Okay. I researched it lots as it was rare and scary. During my journey, I have had about 40 operations. Wow. 2 shunt operations that failed. I would spend 6 weeks in hospital and then back in 2 weeks later. I got MRSA twice, was really nasty, felt like dying. Had to give up my job, was too ill to work. Then I realized I had to help myself. I started my weight loss journey and have shed nearly 10 stone. My symptoms are less and able to function as a normal person. It's hard work, but worth it. Man, 40 surgeries. That sounds really rough. Oh. Also just realized moving my camera down messed up the green screen a little bit. Sorry about that. Okay. Good enough. We're good now. Okay. Well, thank you, Lan, for sharing your story. 1 in a million. This is a story submitted by Amy. And Amy has familial cold autoinflammatory syndrome type 2. And they're in the United States. 1 in a million. That's a phrase I heard my doctor describe my disease to a nurse as I was coming out of anesthesia. Wow. I was recently having a colonoscopy to find out why I was bleeding so much internally. The GI doctor said he found a nasty polyp that was most likely due to inflammation caused by the very rare genetic illness I was diagnosed with this past year. The 1 in a million disease that was discovered surprisingly during my genetic testing is called familial cold autoinflammatory syndrome 2, or FCAS2. This rare autoinflammatory rheumatological immune deficiency is caused by a defect of the NLRP12 gene. It is so rare, there are probably only around 100 cases known worldwide, and only a small portion affected in the United States. My mutation is so rare, it hasn't even been documented anywhere else yet. Wow. Though that does not mean that I'm the only one that has it, because it probably runs in my family, and no one else has ever been tested for it. That's why so much of this was so surprising. For me, it's been 50 years of living with the unknown, with mysterious symptoms and diagnoses popping up throughout my life. I have received multiple diagnoses of autoimmune illnesses, from psoriatic and rheumatoid arthritis to hypothyroidism and fibromyalgia. along with multiple GI issues, skin rashes, infections, and allergies. Sorry, I had to check something really quick. Okay. A couple of years ago, it was discovered that all my immunoglobulins that's a fun word. A couple of years ago, it was discovered that all of my immunoglobulins were low, which led my doctor to believe that I had a rare immune deficiency called common variable immune deficiency, CVID. I was referred to a well-renowned immunologist who felt the rare CVID was only part of the problem. So she had an immune genetic panel done. She was even surprised herself when the results came back, the even rarer FCAS2. Now she and my doctors understand the illness better. They realize it causes systemic inflammation that appears in various ways and gets worse with the cold and cooling temperatures. Oh, hello, Kat. Katrina. Oh, hey! I thought it might have been you for a second, but thank you for clarifying. Thanks for stopping by. And yeah, I'm having a really good day today. Good energy. I've got coffee, that also helps. And we're reading some stories on the official RareDiseaseDay.org website. So I'm having a really good time learning about all of these other experiences that other folks with rare diseases have had. We're learning about a FCAS2 gene mutation. Okay. Let me see, where was I? Now that she and the doctors understand the illness better, they realize it causes systemic inflammation that appears in various ways and gets worse with the cold and cooling temperatures. They all agree it's the primary disease I was born with and that my teenage son most likely has it also. This last part was the very hardest part of all of it for me. I don't want my son to have to suffer most of his life like I have, so I'm doing all I can to educate us about it and get support. With a background as a health educator, I feel the need to educate and promote awareness. I even decided to start my own little support group on Facebook with other women, specifically moms, dealing with FCAS2. There are a dozen of us that are part of another Facebook group of about 100 members dealing with FCAS2 worldwide, so I know my son and I are unique, but not alone. That's the important thing, right? Finding that community and, fighting that isolation that you can feel, which is really, it can be devastating and scary to feel like you're the only person that's experiencing something like this, when in fact, there are other people that out there that may also have your condition that you can kind of share in that experience with. Also, I just realized, I apologize, I meant to take Bernie off the chair before the stream started. I hope that hasn't been too distracting. He's gonna go sit over here for now. I looked up and checked my stream setup and realized, oh, I got Bernie on my chair still. Whoops. Okay. So another story, The Road to Answers. This is by from Amanda. Amanda has, oh boy, let's butcher a word today. I'm gonna misread so many diagnoses. I apologize in advance for that. But, it's bound to happen. My zebra hat back on. That's so much more comfortable than those headphones. And I can hear things around me again now, which is nice. Alright, so Amanda has A-gamma globulinemia. It's a tongue twister. A-gamma globulinemia. I hope I said that well enough. But let's learn about it. Okay, and the title of her story is Finally Living. As a child, I was always sick, whether it was an ear infection, strep throat, and a sinus infection. When I was 16, I was diagnosed with Hodgkin's and non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. After I completed chemotherapy and went into remission, I thought I would finally have an illness-free life. Unfortunately, I was still getting sick all the time. In my early 20s, the illnesses started to get more severe. I would wake up feeling fine, and within a few hours, I would be in the ICU with pneumonia. After this happened a few times, my family doctor called an immunologist. After lots of tests and blood work, we had an answer. At the age of 24, I was diagnosed with A-gamma globulinemia. Proud of myself for saying that right, I hope. I don't produce any antibodies at all. Wow. Man, that's gotta be rough. I was immediately started on subcutaneous immunoglobulin infusions to give my body some of the antibodies that I lack. Because only certain immunoglobulins can't be replaced, I keep saying gobulins like they're goblins. Oh, thank you, Katrina. Yeah, that was an impulse buy that I found on Amazon randomly. I was looking for some zebra gear and I thought, zebra beret? No, I need that in my life right now. It was a good buy. I like it. It's fluffy too. It's really fuzzy. I don't know if you can see how fuzzy it is, but it's comfortable. I still have to be careful when it comes to viruses and bacteria, but I've only been hospitalized once since I started treatment. I'm now 32 years old, and because of my infusions, I can finally live a somewhat normal life. That's really nice. Oh, I'm sorry, excuse me. But I'm glad that, I mean, that condition sounds... Zebra... Is it zebra-ray? Zebra-ray. Zebra-ray. Yeah. It's zebra-ray. It's like French, right? Anyway, thank you, Amanda, for sharing your story. I had not heard of your condition before. Having absolutely no antibodies, that has to be... Wow. No wonder you were always sick as a child. But I'm glad that you have access to treatment that keeps you from getting ill that often, and only being in the hospital once since you started treatment. That seems like it's working really great. So, wishing you the best of luck with your rare disease. And again, thank you for sharing your story so we could learn about it. Zebra Stuck in a Horse's World. Great title. Alright, this is by Savannah, CVID. I think that the story before the last one that we read mentioned CVID, so we'll learn a little bit about what CVID is specifically. Hello, my name is Savannah. My journey started when I was very young. As a young child, I was sick. Well, a lot. It had gotten to the point where people would tell me that I was just making it up for attention. My loved one... Oh, man, I know what that feels like. That sucks. That's something that a lot of us with a rare disease or an invisible condition often, that's where a lot of the overlap is when you find community with other folks that have a rare condition or an invisible illness, chronic illness, just people doubting you. Worst feeling in the world. And if you hear it enough times, you start to doubt yourself too, which is even worse. Anyway, let's get back to her story. Let's see here. Got to the point where people would tell me that I was just making it up for attention. My loved ones would take me to the doctor time after time for constant ear infections, strep throat, sinus infections, bronchitis, you name it. I feel like I could have written this story. I had a very similar experience. As a child, it was very confusing, and of course I thought that it was just normal. As I got older, the infections became worse and more frequent. I would go to my family doctor and he would prescribe me the same old antibiotics over and over again. Oof. As time went on, the antibiotics were not working anymore. I would take a course, and within 2 weeks I was back in the doctor, except even more sick. My family had no idea what to do. My family doctor was not doing anything to help me, and was not questioning why I kept needing antibiotics. At the age of 14, I came down with pneumonia for probably about the 7th time in my life, but this time it wasn't going away. I was put on a concoction of meds, this time prescribed by my family doctor, and went on my way. We had went on a family vacation to the beach, my favorite place in the world. On the way there, I was fine, and even a few days while we were there, I seemed to be doing okay, just a little short of breath. For me, this was just normal, so I thought. So I was taking my meds as prescribed, and by the 4th day of being on vacation, I was in so much pain I could not walk. It was the most agonizing pain I had ever experienced. I was running a fever, and it hurt so badly to breathe that my gums were turning blue. My family drove me all the way home and took me to the hospital. This particular battle with pneumonia had went on for months. I was to the point where I was crawling to get to the bathroom. I couldn't eat, I was coughing up excessive amounts of phlegm and puking. I was dizzy to the point of nearly passing out when I walked. I had gotten to the hospital and they said I had pneumonia, which we obviously already knew, and they gave me more meds, ran tests, and sent me home. My family was very frustrated with the treatment I was receiving from my family doctor over the years, but they took me to get a second opinion. He looked at the results from the hospital and immediately referred me to a pulmonary specialist in Atlanta. The very next day, that's where we went. My family took me to this new doctor, praying for answers. The office performed their own x-rays, and within 30 minutes, my pulmonologist was admitting me to the children's hospital. She couldn't believe what she was seeing. Not only did I have double pneumonia, but also empyema. I've never heard of empyema. Empyema is usually caused by an infection that spreads from the lung. It leads to a buildup of pus in the pleural space. There can be 2 cups, of infected fluid. Wow. This fluid puts pressure on the lungs. Wow. The mortality rate for having empyema is 11 to 50%. When I was admitted to the Children's Hospital, the first action was inserting a PICC line, which for those who have had one, definitely not fun. I was put on vancomycin and breathing treatments. The doctors were sure they would have to place a draining tube into my chest, but let me let this up a little bit. But luckily, after a week in the hospital and a positive attitude, the vancomycin was working and I did not require the draining tubes. Whew. A few days later, I was sent home. The hospital made an appointment with an immunologist to follow up after my recovery. I still at this point had no idea there was anything wrong with me other than I just had a bad case of pneumonia. I was on vancomycin for 2.5 months. I missed the first 3 months of my sophomore year of high school. I also had red man syndrome from the high doses of vancomycin and steroids. Finally, I went to my appointment to this immunologist named Dr. Lisa Koprinsky. She sat me and my family down and explained that I had a chronic condition called CVID, Common Variable Immune Disorder, and that my B cells did not function properly as well. That was the longest and scariest appointment of my life. But I finally had an answer. My friends and family knew it wasn't all in my head and I was not making it up. What a relief. That had to be so validating. I began IVIG infusion the following week via my PICC line. It was scary and I had some minor reactions. The infusion took 9 long hours. Since then, I've been receiving IVIG or subcutaneous. Okay. I'm so thankful that I have a treatment option, but unfortunately, it's still not a cure. It comes with many side effects, and CVID on its own is its own nightmare. I still get infections, and my main complaint is fatigue, but I'm thankful for the doctors that went the extra mile to figure out what was going on with me. If it was not for them, I wouldn't be here. Stay strong, my rare friends. Yeah, that being doubted when you've got strange symptoms that last for a long time, or, that just doesn't seem to vibe with your age and whatnot, getting doubted and then not being able to find a diagnosis that quickly. All of these are very common experiences within the rare disease community. So I definitely, I felt a connection with Savannah here. So thank you again, Savannah, for sharing your story. It's so important to get these stories out there. And that was very well written as well, so good job on that. Nice. Oh, hey, look, it's me! We're gonna learn about my condition later on, so we'll skip out on this one here, and we'll move on to the next person. So this is from Georgios, or George in Greek. Okay, so he has Jacobson syndrome, and he's from Greece. Hello everyone, I'm Georgios, that's George in Greek, and I'm 19 years old. I was diagnosed in 2009 with a rare genetic disorder, Jacobson syndrome, with 11q24.1 QTR deletion. That's a mouthful. A disorder so rare that it is not mentioned in the database of genomics variants. Wow. Yep, that's pretty common as well, actually, if you've got a rare condition too. Like some of the super rare conditions you just can't find on websites. I couldn't find my own for a little while until they finally put it up on the, I found it in the Nord database, but yeah. It happens sometimes. My diagnosis of Jacobson syndrome also involved the presence of pervasive developmental disorder, sensorineural hearing loss, heart failure, and mild thrombophilia, mild intellectual disability, skeletal abnormalities, and juvenile idiopathic arthritis. Lately, I've also been diagnosed with scoliosis, spinal curve deformities, pes cavus, never heard of that before, dystonia, thinning of the Achilles tendon, and a fallen metatarsal arch. I need to take my medications and have physical therapy sessions every day. And Kat says, oh, sorry, Zach, I missed your messages earlier. I'm going to get... Oh, thank you for hanging out for a while, Zach. Hopefully you get some good sleep. I appreciate you hanging out even though it's super late where you're at, so that was nice of you. Important to make this information spread. Thanks again, Sunny. Thank you, Zach. I appreciate that. Oh, it's growing pains. You'll be fine. Heard that many times as a kid. Yeah. Yep. That sucks. Having, really severe, painful symptoms and then just having other people just blow it off like that. Can people just not do that? That would be nice, right? Just give people the benefit of the doubt. Really look into it before you write them off. Grumble, grumble, grumble. But, yeah. Let's continue, shall we? That may seem like a long list of problems, but I've got plenty of reasons to smile, too. I love to spend time with my family and friends, and I like to listen to music or watch videos on my smartphone. My doctors and therapists are amazing, and they have helped me overcome many of the difficulties. As of lately, I'm a member of a patient advocacy organization where I can share my thoughts with other people who also suffer from rare diseases. I believe that sharing is the way to move forward in life, and I'm happy to have so many people that care for me, and likewise. I'm happy when people tell me that my courage is inspiring to them. Wishing all rare disease patients a happy Rare Disease Day from the town of Gastoni in Greece. Thank you for sharing your story, George. Nice to meet you. Jacobson syndrome. Thank you again for sharing your story. Alright, next up, staying positive and accepting myself for who I am. And this is from Wei in Singapore. And they have spinal muscular atrophy type 3. Hi there, I'm Wei, and I have spinal muscular atrophy type 3. I was quite young when I found out about my condition and honestly did not put too much thought into it. I only wanted to lead a normal life and do the things that all my friends could do. It was only later on, when my condition worsened, that I had to readjust my expectations for myself and accept myself for who I am. Very important sentence. I want to read that again. I had to readjust my expectations for myself and accept myself for who I am. That was such a hard lesson for me to learn as well. And I really wanted... I had to read that twice because it's so important. Well said. As I grow older, there are undoubtedly things that I'm concerned with about my future and its uncertainties. Leaving junior college and going into university and into the real world will be a huge transition for me, and something that I'll be both nervous yet excited about. Despite it all, I'm staying positive, optimistic, and strong, focusing on seeing things on the bright side. Also important. I continue to go out and chill with my friends and not isolate myself at home. Recently, I've just started using the wheelchair and have been taking public transport from work. It's never easy to live with this condition, and I hope that in the future there will be a treatment allowing me to lead a more independent life and the ability to contribute more back to society. Let me tell you something, Wei. By sharing your story and, obviously having this kind of insight into really learning how to adjust your expectations for your abilities, you're already helping quite a lot. You're contributing to society by sharing that and sharing your wisdom that you've learned from that. So thank you for doing that. Seriously. It can be, living in a society where, I don't know what it's like in Singapore. It could be even worse than it is here in the US, but it's been my experience here in the US that a lot of worth and emphasis is put on your ability to work, and I think that's so destructive and wrong. We all have certain ways that we can contribute to society, and you're doing that by sharing your story and and your wisdom, like I said. So keep it up. Just do what makes you happy and share that with the world. That also helps. All right. Thank you for sharing your story, Wei, and wishing you the best of luck with your condition as well. Right, Levi's journey. This is written by Amanda. Levi has PHACE syndrome, and this is in Australia. Levi was born with the most perfect little face and smoothest, softest skin, but after a few hours, we noticed what appeared to be large bruising. Checked over by a pediatric doctor in the hospital, it was suggested that it was in fact bruising, and this said bruise would be gone within a few days. A few days goes by, and the bruising had gotten darker and started to turn reddish. By 2 weeks old, it was very clear that it was something more than a bruise. We went to our local GP, who agreed that it was some sort of birthmark. He had not seen anything as large, and this sent us into a pediatric specialist. By 4 weeks old, Levi's birthmark had grown very large, that it was covering from behind his left ear, on his ear, across his cheek and jawline, under his chin, on his lip, and then a few little ones on the other cheek were appearing. We finally got into a specialist that we had been referred to see, who spent 10 minutes with Levi and asked us to do nothing, that it would go darker, but then go away. It saddens me that this is the advice I was given, and I took it for gospel. I became very defensive and protective of my beautiful baby boy with these dark and large facial, oh boy, here's a new word, hemangiomas. Okay, I hope I said that right. I hated anyone giving me the advice on getting it lasered, or the fact that it was so big, looking darker, etc. Levi's hemangioma. Okay, am I saying that right? Hemangioma. These are some fun words. Okay. It was growing rapidly. I noticed spots in his mouth and on his tongue. It started to rise in areas and go very dark red, sometimes purple. My poor baby. His hemangioma was taking up a good portion of the lower half of his face. By 6 weeks old, Levi became extremely unsettled. He was not sleeping, crying 90% of the time. I knew something was not right, and I knew it had to be due to his birthmark. However, my advice, only a few weeks earlier, was that it was fine and would start to disappear. Our GP thought that he might have bad reflux and put him on reflux medication. This did nothing but make him scream for 5 days and nights straight. I was advised to continue with the reflux medication for 2 weeks. At this point, Levi's hemangioma began to dry, go flaky, and started to look infected, ulcerating. However, I didn't realize this could happen. I took him back to said GP, who placed him on antibiotics. After another 3 days of screaming and just as many doctor's appointments, I took my completely miserable, unsettled, sore, precious baby to the ER at the Women's and Children's Hospital. We waited a whole 15 minutes before we were called in. The doctors there took one look at him and admitted him. The next few days were full of MRIs, echo, ENT, eye test, ultrasounds, and many groups of specialists coming around to view my beautiful boy. They immediately stopped his reflux medication, the antibiotics, and administered a cream for his ulcerations and strong painkillers. On day 5 of being in the hospital, Levi's ulcerations had gotten larger and opened in new areas. My darling boy was in so much pain. It was heartbreaking. By day 10 in the hospital, they advised us Levi had PHACE syndrome, with a large infantile hemangiomas visible on the outside, but also in his mouth and down his throat, and also tortuous blood vessels and arteries to and from his brain. Wow. At this point, there was relief and also fear of the unknown. Our dermatology team, along with guidance from the head pediatric doctors, decided to put Levi on propranolol, a few days of monitoring and adjusting the dose, and he was set. The neurologist team advised Levi needed to be on aspirin to help manage and prevent any clots that could easily form in the vessels and arteries. We stayed a total of 14 nights in the hospital. The nurses and doctors were amazingly supportive and informative, and on day 15 we were able to take our sweet baby home. The next 6 months from the diagnosis had involved fortnightly, monthly follow-up hospital visits, management of his dry skin and ulcerations on the hemangioma, many increases and adjustments to his medication, many comments from strangers, and many hours spent explaining Levi's face syndrome. At about 9 months old, Levi's hemangioma was basically disappeared, besides the capillary-type veins that will be more than likely remain. He will have another MRI at 12 months old to review his vessels and artery. My little face warrior is brave, strong, and oh so handsome. He's been through more in his little life than a lot of adults. This was the scariest time as a mother. Levi has reached all the milestones and has reached all milestones as expected and is a happy, bubbly baby. Aww. And they've got a couple of hashtags there that you guys can check out if you'd like to. Wow, man, going through all of that. Thank you, Amanda, for sharing your son's story. It's so important, especially considering the experience that you went through, which is unfortunately so very common. Being dismissed by GPs that don't really understand the situation. Last Wednesday, on February 24th, we had an official Rare Disease Day event for the Rare Action Network in my state of Indiana, and we were really lucky to be joined by my personal endocrinologist, Dr. Eric Eimel from the Indiana University School of Medicine. And he talked a little bit about what it's like being a doctor and working in the field of rare diseases, and he offered a little bit of empathy for doctors, like general practitioners and, you know, family doctors that just don't have the kind of exposure to rare diseases that a lot of, you know, other doctors might. One of the things that he had said when he was giving his presentation was, you know, considering the fact that there are 7,000 different rare diseases, is there anything that you know 7,000 things about? You know, it's a really good point. So, unfortunately, it's very common to come across a GP or a family doctor that doesn't know anything about your rare disease. And a lot of the times they don't want to put forth the effort to learn about something new either, because they've got so many patients to work with. You know, there's a time frame, you got a time limit, you got to get, you know, a patient in and out real quick. They don't really have the time to research it, which is so unfortunate because it leads to experiences like what Amanda and her son went through, where the doctor obviously didn't put forth, you know, the effort necessary to protect her child. And as you can see, it can have really devastating outcomes in those cases. But I'm really glad that they were actually able to get some help finally, and seems like he's being very well taken care of. So, Amanda, thank you very much for sharing your story. The story of your son. And face syndrome, I'd never heard of that before either, so it was nice to learn something new. I've been streaming for about an hour now. It is 10:54, so I'm going to go ahead and go on my first break. I'll be stepping away for a second, getting a refill, taking care of some human things, and when I return, I'm going to read a few more stories when I come back, and then we'll play some Valheim. Cool. Okay, so let me get some videos up here for you guys. I'm going to mute myself for just a second to resituate myself again. Okay, cool. So, while I'm on my break, I'm actually going to teach you guys about my condition. So this is going to be fun. This is a video that I made for Rare Disease Day a couple of years ago, but I mean, it works. It's very informative. It talks about my condition, and I think you'll enjoy it. Or at least I hope you will. Let's see here. I just need to bring it up. There it is. Okay. Alright, I'm going to go on my break, and I will be back in about 5 minutes. Or, well, after this video, about 8 minutes. It's 8 minutes and 30 seconds long. I'll be back at the end of this video. So, thank you guys for hanging out. I hope that you've enjoyed hearing a lot of these stories. I know I've enjoyed reading them and learning about other rare disease patient experiences. So, looking forward to seeing you guys when I come back. For now, enjoy. Hey everybody, Sunny here. Today is Rare Disease Day, so that means I get to get involved in the Rare Disease Day antics that happen every year, and this year, it's Show Your Stripes. So, I'm going to do that. I'm going to tell you about my conditions. I've got an umbrella term of a condition called septo-optic dysplasia, which is a malformation of the midline of the brain. My optic nerve is deformed, my pituitary gland didn't develop properly, and I never even developed the septum pellucidum, which is the membrane that kind of sits between the two halves of the brain. Doesn't really do much to affect me, that part, but the other two really affect my life in a multitude of different ways. So, I guess I'll talk about those. So here's my stripe for septo-optic dysplasia, right there. That's the umbrella term that I just explained. Next up, that caused, because my pituitary gland is messed up, panhypopituitarism. And that pretty much means that my pituitary gland doesn't function properly, so my body doesn't make any of the hormones necessary for survival. I do take pills, lots of them, every day to replace those missing hormones, but treatment isn't really a cure, and it's not necessarily perfect either. Well, not even close to perfect. I wouldn't even say not necessarily perfect. It's just, it's not not great. Because it tries to kind of mimic what your body would normally secrete, but taking pills is nothing compared to the body's normal secretion throughout the day. So because of that, I deal with a lot of symptoms throughout my day that affect, you know, my ability to work, for instance. I'm unable to work. I did try. Wound up in the hospital, but I tried. It was fun. Anyway, because of that, panhypopituitarism has caused adrenal insufficiency, which can be fatal. This is a condition by itself. My cat's trying to get paint on her fur. Anyway, adrenal insufficiency. Back on track, Sunny. That can be a condition all on its own. There are two different forms. There's primary adrenal insufficiency, which is caused by an autoimmune disease called Addison's disease. But what I have is secondary adrenal insufficiency, which is when the pituitary gland itself isn't sending any signals to the adrenal glands to produce the hormone cortisol, among other things, which kind of helps regulate blood pressure and other bodily functions that are, you know, important for basic survival. And if not treated properly or during cases of intense stress, it can actually lead to something called an adrenal crisis, which can be fatal. I've had 2 of those. Luckily, I got great care. Well, had to go to another ER the second time because the first one didn't know what they were doing, but that's something that you deal with when you have a rare disorder. Anyway, the point is I'm alive and that's great. So, it caused adrenal insufficiency. I can talk a little bit more about that on the stream, but for now, I'll go on to the other things. I've got so much to cover here. Next up, hypothyroidism. Because my pituitary gland isn't sending signals to the rest of my endocrine system, my thyroid gland doesn't know what to do. I have a small thyroid gland anyway, for whatever reason. But my thyroid's low, so I have to take the thyroid meds to kind of make up for that. I'm also hypogonad, which means I don't make the sexual hormones that are important, not just for libido, but for, you know, regular, you know, feminine health down there. I wouldn't have a period if I didn't take my estradiol and my medroxyprogesterone every day in a monthly cycle. That's really complicated. But hey, I've got it taken care of thanks to great endocrinologists. Also caused adult growth hormone deficiency, which I actually have to take a shot for every day. Got my handy dandy Sharps container right here. Yep, got my needles on hand. 1 shot a day. Luckily the needles are really small, so it really doesn't hurt all that bad. And I'm used to it. I've been taking it for like 3 years now. But that kind of helps with cell regrowth. A lot of doctors actually still don't understand that adults really need the growth hormone. There's like this misconception that only children need it when they're developing, but studies have actually proven that adults still need it. You know, like I said, for cell regrowth and redistribution of fat throughout the body. If you are if you don't have enough growth hormone, your fat can kind of sit around the waist and make you look pregnant. No, it doesn't really look all that flattering. It also likes to sit around other parts of the body that aren't all that flattering. So taking the growth hormone shots help with energy levels. It helps with if you don't have the shots, if you're deficient, it can cause muscle weakness, brain fog, which is all up in the air for me anyway. It can be a lot worse if you're growth hormone deficient. Anyway, let's see here. I covered hypothyroidism, adrenal insufficiency, hypogonadism, adult growth hormone deficiency. What else is there? Other hormones could be deficient, but they're not really treated on a regular basis. I hope more research is done on that because my pituitary gland covers a lot more than just those hormones that I'm being treated for. And since those aren't being secreted, I know that I'm not making the other stuff. Don't know how much that's affecting me, but like I said, can't work, so maybe there's something to that. But all that aside, the third thing, optic nerve hypoplasia. Where am I gonna put this? There we go. Yeah. Optic nerve hypoplasia. That's the malformation of my optic nerve. And it's, like I said, it's a complication of the septo-optic dysplasia, so it's part of all of my conditions. But, basically what that has done to me is I don't have peripheral vision at all. I can't even see my, well, I'm looking at the video, but I can't even see my fingers right here on the side of my face. I've got, like, I did a vision, one of those vision tests that show you a field of vision test, whatever it's called. But like, here's the circle. Most people see the whole circle. Half of that for me was completely gone. I don't have that vision. And what little vision I do have is really impacted by this twitching that my eye does. My eyes have to work very hard to focus on things. I'll show you. I'm getting paint all over the place. But if I look to the left all the way or to the right, you can really see it twitching. Yeah. Imagine how hard it is to focus your eyes when they're doing that all the time. That can cause a lot of headaches. Makes it hard for me to read, unfortunately, so audiobooks are my friend. But that's another reason why when I do stream on Twitch, I have to stop for after a couple of hours to let my eyes rest, because all that twitching and having to try to focus really causes nasty headaches. The really cool thing though, because of that peripheral vision loss, I've got these glasses called Chadwick lenses that were designed to help kind of bring in, isn't that neat? Kind of bring in some of that vision that I've lost. It's not focused at all. It's really blurry, but it allows me to see things moving on my sides that I normally wouldn't see. So, like, if I'm walking down the street and I gotta cross the road, a car comes out of nowhere, I might see it when I otherwise would not. You know, kind of save my life a little bit. So, but all that stuff aside, I'll talk a lot more in depth about it during the stream that I'm having today at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm hosting... I'm back. Hello. That was, again, that was from my Rare Disease Day video that I posted back in 2019. The rest of the video is just me plugging the stream that I was planning on having that day. Obviously, we're doing this stream today, so here we are. But hopefully that video was nice and informative for you. I had a good break, I'm back, and I am ready to read a few more stories. And then after I've read those, we're going to play some Valheim. And I'm going to give away a free copy of Valheim to anybody who types giveaway in the chat. So if you're here and you're thinking, ooh, hey, I'd like a copy of that new game that just came out that looks really great, type giveaway in the chat. Yeah, it'll be nice. So, more patient stories. I'm gonna set this aside. I'm gonna mute myself for a second so there's not any audio chaos as I move my display tablet around. Awesome. And now we can get back to reading those patient stories. Okay. The headache that changed my life. This is from Blake. He's got pituitary apoplexy, hypopituitarism. Hey, buddy. Me too. Well, not the pituitary apoplexy. I don't know what that is, but I'm eager to learn about it. But the hypopituitarism, I got that. Alright, so let's learn about Blake. Sorry, Blake. We're gonna learn about Blake's story today. Alright. And they're in Ireland, like I said. I guess I'll start from the beginning for me. Oops, sorry. My cord got caught. I didn't want to break it. Okay. I guess I'll start from the beginning for me. I went to bed one weekend night, but was woken up abruptly shortly after feeling a bad pain in my head. I'm not someone who suffers from headaches that much, but as they go, the headache couldn't be matched. From when I first felt the pain, it didn't take long for that to escalate to a much more intense headache. Please excuse me for a second, I want to take off these headphones. It's just so weird talking with those headphones on because they're noise canceling and then I can just like hear this my muffled voice, and it's very strange. So I'm gonna take that off. I apologize for the distraction there, but... Oh, hey! Actually, really quick, while we're distracted, Dova is in her cat cam spot, so we get a little bit of cat cam here while I'm reading this story. My little dream mascot. Look at that little bean. Hi, Dova. Look at that perfect girl. Okay. Alright, reading the patient story now. Alright, so. Sorry, Blake. Getting back to your story now. Let's see. I went to bed one weekend night, was woken up abruptly, shortly after feeling a bad pain in my head. I'm not someone who suffers from headaches that much, but as they go, this headache couldn't be matched. From when I first felt the pain, it didn't take long for that to escalate to a much more intense headache. Throbbing, sharp pounding, are some words I've used to try to describe it, along with the high sensitivity to light, loss of appetite, and just not wanting to move a muscle because staying still made it more bearable. This went on for a little over a day and a half. Wow, put up with that for a long time. Dang. And zero sleep since I had woken up before my local doctor was called, who heard the symptoms and thought there wasn't much he himself could do for me, so referred me to the hospital. Slowly moved around and managed to have a shower, which took a lot longer than it should have. Got driven to the hospital, as I was in no condition to be able to drive, and dropped off at the emergency department of my local hospital, where I entered alone due to current COVID-19 pandemic. A slow walk to the desk to inform them my doctor referred me there, a little wait, and I was brought down to the medical unit, all while walking at a pace of about 5 times slower than my usual, wearing the mandatory surgical mask and blacked-out sunglasses to avoid the bright ceiling lights in the hospital. It looked like a scene from Weekend at Bernie's. Oh, Katrina, yes, cat cam. Yeah, absolutely. Whenever we get the chance, we will use that cat cam. Once arrived, I was asked all the usual questions numerous times by each nurse and doctor that saw me. Eventually, I was given a cubicle and a bed where I could rest my head. Still haven't eaten at this stage, with the exception of small yogurt when I was still at home, and only drank water when it was accompanied by painkillers, which didn't do much for me. I spent all my time lying sideways in the bed, away from direct light, sunglasses on, clutching my head with both hands from the severe pain I was feeling. It never went away. It didn't come and go in waves. It was always there, pounding, non-stop. Any tiny movements would reset it. It had been over 72 hours by now, and the pain had only gotten worse. I can't imagine that. This was just my first worry that it wouldn't just be a bad migraine or something along those less sinister lines. The professor that was assigned to my case in the hospital had examined me and determined that I needed a CT scan of my head. This was booked, and I attended the next day. In between all of this, I hadn't eaten any of the food offered, and maybe just a tiny amount of water, as I couldn't bring myself to lift my head off the pillow. It was too painful. The only time I did was when I held my pee for hours and couldn't hold it anymore, so another slow walk to the toilet. That's what I would describe a nasty brown pee color due to the dehydration from not having anywhere near the amount of water I needed in my body. This was the second indication that what I was feeling wasn't your run-of-the-mill headache. Giving up on your core needs for survival like food and water because of a headache. The CT scan came back, and I originally thought had been alright, but the professor who ordered it spotted something that didn't look like a normal CT. Next course of action was a lumbar puncture to extract some of what's called CSF, or spinal fluid, to test things like a bleed in the brain, meningitis. I downright refused, first of all. I had been in the hospital alone for the most part, hadn't eaten, and not an amount of water to bother documenting. These are all excuses, to be honest, and I said no because 1, I was afraid of being told there was something amiss, and 2, I didn't want a long needle traversed in my lumbar spine on top of all the pain I was already feeling. Totally fair, but yikes. But after a while, and some talking to from my significant other, I put on my big boy pants and informed the nurse in charge I'll consent to the procedure. About an hour later, a few doctors came to my cubicle and told me to bend forward over the bed and arch my back as much as I could. Anesthetic needle went in, a sharp pinch but okay, and the lumbar needle followed. I suddenly broke out into a full-body cold sweat. I felt a pop in my ears along with a jolt of what I can only describe as sciatica down my right leg. I told them to withdraw the needle, which they obliged, no sample in hand. Following this was a brain MRI was ordered, just a more detailed version of what the CT scan captured. I was moved up to an inpatient day ward in the meantime. A much more relaxed and attentive area compared to the acute medical unit I had come from. I was still in a lot of pain and it hadn't died down. This would have been 4 to 5 days in the hospital. I remember my first night in the ward. I must have driven the nurse on call mad with the buzzer next to my bed. Can I have some pain meds? Is there anything else you can give me? That night was probably the most painful, where the other times in the pain was a 7, 8 out of 10 at the lowest. This was definitely well exceeding a 10 out of 10. It was as if the pain in my head decided to peak and then just stay there. This left me holding my head with enough pressure to pull hair out, tossing and turning on the spot, crying my eyes out, Nurse came in and gave me some stronger pain meds, but something in the opiate family. This ever so slightly resolved it enough to let me sleep for about 2 hours, the most I had gotten in the last week. Wow. Fast forward a couple of days as I was sitting in my bed minding my own business. The curtain swings open and the professor from the medical unit arrives in along with another man in a suit. 3, maybe 4 students behind them, as this was a university teaching hospital. At this point, the only thought in my mind was F-bomb. The professor pulled up a chair next to me and introduced my suited man as an endocrinologist in the hospital. At the time, I didn't know what that meant, other than he was a specialist in some sort of field. The professor then looked at me and explained that the MRI on my brain revealed a mass on my pituitary gland, a tumor, an adenoma, which is a non-cancerous tumor. Not only that, but the reason I'm in so much pain was because the tumor started to bleed, suddenly enlarged and burst, and lost its blood supply, permanently damaged my pituitary gland in the process. Pituitary apoplexy is the clinical term. Okay, so I'm familiar with the condition, didn't know the clinical term, but I've met a couple of people that have gone through a very similar experience. Pituitary apoplexy is the clinical term, and it affects a very small percentage of people who have known pituitary adenomas. Even less for people who have had pre-diagnosed disorder, which was my case. This, in turn, left me with another condition called hypopituitarism, which is when the pituitary gland fails to produce 1 or more hormones throughout the body, in my case, 3. You know when you're watching a movie and someone receives some bad news and the actor just stares into space? It's really like that. At least it was for me. I completely zoned out, don't even think I blinked for the duration. My brain couldn't keep up with the amount of racing thoughts flying through my head. My body pretty much went into shock, and the only thing I could manage to do was cry a lot for a long time. The endocrinologist returned to my room and asked me some questions, which resulted in me immediately receiving some corticosteroids due to an insufficient ACTH hormone produced by the adrenal glands. That's the adrenal insufficiency that I mentioned in the video that we watched when I was on my break. This was my first medication I was put on, as I believe can be life-threatening if it's not corrected and cause something called an adrenal crisis. Correct. This was my saving grace because 1 hour after I had been given the dose of the steroids, the pain pretty much vanished. Wow. I couldn't believe it. I had spent well over a week in absolute agony being on 3 to 4 different pain meds every day, and they did nothing. That level of pain hasn't returned since, so I'm very conscious about taking my meds on time. I had some blood tests done, and it was explained to me that I'm also deficient in TSH, which is your thyroid-stimulating hormone, along with testosterone. I was given medication for each, which presumably I'll be taking for the rest of my life. It was a strange scenario to wrap my head around because the separate glands around my body are perfectly fine. It's the master gland that tells them what to do that is damaged. So those hormones are not being secreted, and the signals aren't being sent by the pituitary gland. Very similar to my condition. My condition involves me having to be in the care of 2 specialists, an endocrinologist and a neurosurgeon. A third of surgery is required, that being an ENT specialist. As a result of this, I was transferred to another hospital just for a day to meet with a neurosurgeon because there are only 2 neurosurgeon departments in the country, and my hospital was neither of them. This is where I got confirmation that the tumor had actually stroked out and killed itself, as the neurosurgeon described, which gave me some relief, although there's a chance that it could regrow, but for now, it wasn't the worst news I could have received for on my birthday. Transferred back to my own hospital, where I was continually monitored. I was discharged the next day, 1 day after my birthday, and 11 days altogether in the hospital. I don't know if it was from the imbalance of hormones or side effects of the medication, but it was an emotional moment for me. You take a lot for granted when you're confined to a hospital bed for a number of days, like standing in crisp, fresh air, so I didn't mind waiting 15 minutes to be collected at the hospital entrance. On the trip home, I had never looked out the window at the scenery as much, and the whole experience made me more appreciative of what's around me. Puts things in perspective when your mortality is in question. I can feel that. I understand. Since I've left the hospital, I've managed to stick to a healthier lifestyle of eating and exercising, something I'd never been able to maintain for very long. Although the first couple of weeks home were slow and rough each day... Although the first couple of weeks home were slow and rough, each day is a small improvement over the last. Sometimes I get slight pains in my head, but I was told that this is to be expected as the tumor shrinks from the lost blood supply, and just the fact that it's still there. So this is my story. I may have left details out along the way, stuff that was either too personal or just stray from the whole point of the story, which is to raise awareness of this condition. For anyone stuck in limbo going through all this, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. I struggled to see it, but it's there. And while it may be a rare condition, there's still research being done and new things being discovered. Educate yourself on what's going on in your own body, and it'll help ease the frustration and make you realize you still have a good quality of life. Absolutely, totally agree. Well said. For anyone reading this who is in good health, my only advice is to visit your doctor with anything that seems out of the ordinary. I was always one to put it off, and looking back in hindsight, there are things now that seem out of place and could have been attributed to the hormone or to the tumor and all the hormone deficiency it can bring. There's a chance it could have been detected earlier, and I could have avoided all that pain. Thanks to anyone who endured reading all of my story. I didn't expect it to be this long. That's all from me for now. I'm late to take my meds. I really, really enjoyed that story. Wow, that was great. It was a long one, but I appreciated it. It was very detailed, really took the reader into your life and like really helped build empathy for what you went through. So, well done, Blake. But wow, I tripped over the only the rare disease word that I know very well, pituitary. Pituitary apoplexy. So, and that caused his hypopituitarism. So I was able to connect with that one because I've got panhypopituitarism. All right. Well, again, Blake, thank you for sharing your story. I really enjoyed reading that. It was really great to, in a sense, connect with another person that has a condition like mine. All right. Well, you guys ready for some Valheim? I am. It is time for Valheim. Now, before I dive into Valheim, since I have to, launch the game and stuff, I'm going to go ahead and bring up a trailer for it so you guys can see what you have a chance to win. If you type giveaway, or actually there's no exclamation mark, just put the keyword giveaway in the chat and you'll be entered to win a free copy of Valheim, which I will send via Steam. If you're not familiar with what Valheim is, I'm about to show off a trailer. It's very good. There's an ad first, so apologies about the ad. Let me mute it for a second. Waiting for this ad to pass so that we can watch another ad. Okay. Alright, so this is the trailer for Valheim. Let me turn this back up again. This is what I'm booting up to play right now. And I'll be oh wait, that's the wrong... Hold on a second. Why is that not working? I apologize. Just a second. Let me get this to work. There we go. OBS was just being slow, or Streamlabs. Okay, so here's the trailer. I'm gonna let this play while I get Valheim ready to go in the background. Okay. That's Valheim. So that's what we're gonna play right now. There we go. Looks like that's all set up. Alright. Make sure I've got YouTube chat up here so I can read it well. Hey, thank you guys for joining. Shout out to Arizona and Ubster. Thank you guys for entering the giveaway. Feel free to hang out as long as you'd like. I'm going to be playing this for the next hour or so. And after that, I'll read a little bit more patient stories. So what I'm doing today is a live stream for Rare Disease Day. If you're unfamiliar with what Rare Disease Day is, allow me to enlighten you. Oh, and I just realized the audio for Valheim isn't going through yet. Just a second, I'll get that fixed. But Rare Disease Day is on the last day of February every year, and it's an advocacy event in which we raise awareness for the existence of rare diseases. There are over 7,000 different rare diseases, and a rare disease affects somebody, 1 in 200,000 births, I believe. And roughly 1 in 10 Americans has a rare disease. I've got a rare disease called septo-optic dysplasia, which I talked about a little bit earlier. I'll probably bring that up again later, but for now, I'm just gonna have some fun. Ayo, donate to Rare Disease. Yeah, Ubster, thank you. Absolutely, yes. So if you are interested in donating to a nonprofit that supports rare disease patients, I highly recommend going to rarediseases.org. That's the official website for NORD. If you type !rare, oh wait, sorry, !Nord in the chat, that'll take you to Nord's website. If you type !rare, it'll take you to the official Rare Disease Day website, which you can also support financially if you choose. I personally volunteer for Nord, so I'm biased. So I really want to encourage people to donate to Nord because I know they do a lot of really great stuff in a variety of different ways to help improve the lives of patients with rare diseases. But for now, I'm going to try to figure out why Valheim is not going through the right audio here. Let me see. There we go. Now we got it. Okay, so please let me know if the game audio is too loud or too quiet in comparison to my voice, and I can adjust it accordingly. But for now, let's I'm gonna get my phone out here and bring up the YouTube chat so it's a little bit bigger because I've got my secondary screen set up here with the YouTube chat, and it's just too small. So I'm gonna see if I can use this to bring it a little bit closer, and then we'll get started. Just smacked myself in the face with my camera stand. Did you see that? You didn't see anything. Okay. Let's just pretend that didn't happen. Alright. But yeah, if you guys have, just again, if you want to enter to win, just type giveaway in the chat. You'll be entered to win the contest, and I will reach out to you after I've drawn the winner. I will draw the winner live on stream at the end of the stream, but you don't have to hang out if you have other things that you need to do. That's totally fine. Okay, where's the chat? Oh, that's the wrong button. Sorry. Live chat. There it is. Okay, there we go. Now I can kind of see the chat a little bit better here. Cool. That's just off camera, so you guys can't see it. Nice. Alright. Just need to tighten this up. It's a little loose. Okay, we're good. That's not the way. Great! Alright, let's play some Valheim. I'm excited. I can't get enough of this game. It is so much fun. Thank you guys for entering and participating. Again, I'll be playing this for about an hour or so. If you want to talk about life with your rare condition, please start in the comments. Tell me all about it. Show your stripes. And, we'll talk about that while I'm playing. Again, please let me know if the audio needs adjusting in any way, and I can adjust it accordingly. But after about an hour of playing this, I'm going to take another quick break. And when I come back, I'll read... Excuse me, I'm sorry. Coffee makes me burp, apparently. So that's interesting. When I come back after my break, after playing Valheim for about an hour, I'll be reading some more patient stories off the official Rare Disease Day website, and tell you a little bit more about Nord and what they're doing to help people. with rare diseases. But for now, all that fun business aside, let's get down to some just some fun. No business about it. Okay, so welcome to my Valheim base. I've been working on this for a while now, making some renovations. So things are a little bit up in the air, but this has been a lot of fun so far. I need to eat. Also, full disclosure, I am not a pro gamer at all, so this should be fun to watch. Alright, how am I doing on food? I've got enough to last me a while. I think I've got enough wood to keep working on my place here. Let's go see how my pigs are doing. I'm taming a boar down here. The other one's already been tamed. But this one, what percentage are you at? About 9%. It's been at 9% for a long time. I keep feeding it, but let's just keep at it. Gotta be patient. Okay. Oh. Well, that's certainly gonna be helpful outside the pen. I didn't realize it's sending them all the way over there. Alright, I know that if I throw them from up there, it goes through, so let's just go do that. Okay. Also, I apologize if anybody says anything in the chat and it takes me a minute to see it. Sometimes I might get in the zone. I couldn't find any tools that like made a pinging noise or whatever whenever I get a YouTube comment. That's what I do on my Twitch channel. I've got something called Chatty that tells me when somebody has said something in the chat. Couldn't find that for YouTube, so I just gotta remember to look up periodically. And if I forget, I apologize. Okay, that should last that little piggy a while, I think. It took a long time for the other boar to get tamed as well. But once this one gets tamed, I can actually start breeding them and making piggies. Oh, he needs some food too. Have a berry. The other boar keeps frightening him, I think. There you go. Alright. So, I think I'm gonna work on... I need to get up on that roof and pick up those pieces of wood. And then I'm gonna work on reinforcing things like I was doing. Cool. And then we're gonna go tackle a dungeon because I found one nearby that I haven't explored yet. That's gonna be fun. Well, whoops! Don't mind me, I'm just gonna jump off the roof for no reason. You know how it goes. Oh, if I jump off here, I'm gonna die. Don't fall! I'm definitely breaking some OSHA standards here today. Okay, I need to repair this roof. Actually, this might need more reinforcements, so I may need to place some core wood here. Whoops. Good thing that doesn't kill the garden. That would have been terrible. Okay. I think I'm just going to build a new ladder up there. Make it easier to get up on that edge of the roof. temporary ladder for me. Come on, get up there. You can do it. There we go. Yeah, these need some supports too. So I'm gonna have to go around with some core wood poles, do that. I'm gonna put a roof cross up here just so that it matches all the rest of them. Why won't you go? There you go. Oh, don't fall on the spikes. Okay. Alright, that's fine. Okay, so let's see, do I have any core wood in my inventory? I've got 7. Do I have any in the chest? Yes. Okay. No, that's just regular wood. Okay, I need to go out and get some more core wood. Sounds good. Okay. So I'm pretty well rested. Do I still have the water bonus? I do not. But that's okay. Let me just sit for a minute here by the fire, rest up. That way I get a little bit of a bonus. Get my health back up. That's about as good as I'm gonna get, actually. This is fine. Okay. We can get some more core wood before the sun goes down. Ooh, thistle. Don't mind if I do. I may have misjudged my timing. I'm not going to be able to chop down much before it gets too dark. So I'll just get some of the regular wood and we'll head back. And then in the morning I'll come by and get more wood. Or get that core wood. That roof reinforced, I think I'll go take on that dungeon. Hello, friend. I missed. Can you wait for a minute so I can get some stamina back, please? Okay. 2-star. Look at you, fancy. Alright, it's time to head back, isn't it? I'm gonna finish chopping this log first. There we go. Alright, let's head back. second. I'm gonna bring up. Ooh. Whoops! Did not mean to punch the door. Well. Alright, how's my food doing? I need to eat. A little bit of breakfast there. Put away my spoils. Go get some more core wood here in a second, but I'm gonna go ahead and make sure my inventory is as empty as it can be so we don't have to make as many trips. And my torches need to be lit. Right in here. Hey, turnips are ready. Cool. Punching turnips, that's my new hobby. Alright. Darn it. I destroyed one. Misclicking. Whoopsies. Okay. Let's put those turnips away and plant some more really quick. And again, for anybody who's just joining, if you'd like to enter to win a free copy of this game, Valheim, excellent, very fun survival crafting sort of game. I'll be giving away a free copy at the end of the stream to anybody who types giveaway in the chat. That's all you have to do to enter. You don't even need to hang out. That's totally fine. But if you'd like to enter to win, that's how you do it. Oh, my cat just jumped on the desk and it shook everything. Alright, let's go get that core wood. Check on the pigs. You still got plenty of food. What's your percentage at? You're still at 9%? Why don't you just chill, my dude? It's fine, really. Okay. wood chopping. I just realized there's no music, and I can fix that. I apologize. Usually I'll listen to, there we go. That should be a lot better. Usually I'm listening to a podcast or hanging out with friends in a Discord channel while I'm playing, so I had music turned off. Please let me know if it's too loud or too quiet. I can adjust accordingly. Hopefully it's not too much louder than others. If you're also a person who enjoys listening to podcasts while you're playing video games, the podcast Lore, if you look up Lore Podcast on Google, it should be the first result. But lorepodcast.com is the website, I believe. Excellent podcast to pair with this. That's my podcast of choice when I'm playing Valheim is Lore. It's very good, very interesting, especially if you like learning about folklore stories. Some honey, get some stamina. Getting close to hitting capacity here. Go ahead and run back at this point. Need to put some stairs there, don't I? Okay, I think I've got enough core wood for the project that I wanted to work on over there. Put away some of this stuff. I'm just gonna stop collecting these at a certain point. I've got so many of them. I may not actually need to add those extra reinforcements. It seems like it's holding up alright on its own. It's orange. It's not red. These are a little iffy, but they haven't broken on me yet, so I think I'll just save the wood and leave them, actually. May not have needed to get that core wood after all. Yeah, honestly, maybe it couldn't hurt to put here. Maybe I'll replace the ones on the corners here with some core wood. That actually seems like a pretty good idea. So let's do that. Oh, I need to put another workbench out here. I can do that. Okay, where do I want to go? We'll just stick it here for now. And in the next in-game day, I'm gonna go ahead and take on the dungeon that I have yet to explore. Because I know that's a little bit more exciting than, you know, wood. I'll put a couple over here just for consistency's sake, right? Sounds like I got a great work out there. I was in trouble. I'll take care of him in a second. Oh, I need to repair my hammer. Misclicked. Try that again. Darn it. Well. That's good enough. Right? It's fine. Okay. You know what? Nope, I don't like it sticking through there like that. We're gonna fix it. That's how we do it. Alright. Just in time for bedtime, too. How about that? How are you doing, Piggy? Still 9%. I wonder if I keep coming around it too much. That might be the reason why. If I move it to the other pin, that might help, because that's where I tamed the other one. I don't think it'll hurt them to be together in the same pin, will it? We're about to find out. we both just move over to that pin? I might have to close my curtains here in a second. Come back over here, piggy. Darn it. You guys, come over to this one. It's nice over here. It's great. Trust me, you'll like it. Here's one. Is that the tame one? Or is that the... That's the tame one. We'll get there eventually. We'll maneuver them. There they go. They're getting there. Hey, look at that. Perfect. Cool. And I'm doubling up on these fences because the one that's not tamed yet kind of tears the fencing here and there and breaks through the first fences. There will be that second one to make sure it doesn't get out. Alright, bear with me for just a second. I'm going to close the curtain here where that sunlight's getting a little bright in here, and I may have to make some adjustments to my green screen for the chroma key. Once I do that, we will see. So, just gonna pop up my break screen here for just a second. Sorry, I forgot I was muted. Just making sure chroma key was working well, and it certainly is. Great. Back to Valheim. Again, for anybody new who may have just shown up, if you would like to enter to win a free copy of this game that I'm playing right now, you can just type giveaway in the chat, and you will be entered to win one free copy of Valheim when I do the drawing at the end of this stream, which I'll probably be ending the stream at about 2 p.m. I think. I'm gonna take a break here in about a half an hour. Just for a little lunch break. And I'll be gone for about 15 minutes, but I'll have some videos up for you guys talking about Rare Disease Day and how you can get involved as an advocate or get involved with the work that NORD does to improve the lives of rare disease patients. And, yeah, so you can watch those while I'm eating my lunch. Okay, so, it's bedtime. Let's get some sleep. And tomorrow, big day, we're gonna go check out a dungeon. Oh yeah, I need to dry off for a minute. actually, really quick, before I go do that, I'm gonna step away for just a second. I need to make a quick little bio break. I will not be long. Just hang out for a second, and I'll be right back. Let's see, where's my break screen? There it is. Alright, I'll be back in just a second. Thanks for hanging out. Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that. Thanks for bearing with me. Gotta get back to... There we go. Okay, so when I came back, I accidentally bumped my camera, so let me make sure. Oh, I just realized there's a bit of a bright spot on the green screen. That's better. Okay, good. Strange little light artifact, but I got that fixed. Okay, back to Valheim. Let's go. I'm gonna put on my armor since we're going on a dangerous journey. I can put these down. Clear up my inventory space. Take some resin with me because I might want to place some torches when I get in there. I think I might just build a new torch really quick since the one that I've got is pretty low. And I'll just leave the Bloodmore behind. Some wood with me, just in case I need to build something. I can put some of that honey away. And carry these berries with me just for some variety. That should be good. Okay, I'm ready to go. Oh wait, I've got some healing potions too that Justin gave me. Have those with me just in case. Let's eat a good hearty meal and go. put food in this bin, didn't I? Hold on. I'll do this before I go. That's not gonna help them very much right there, is it? Is it getting dark again already? That bio break probably did it to me, didn't it? Oh well. Still at 9%. Alright. I'm gonna stay away from that guy. Hopefully he'll get better. Okay, I think I'm gonna go there, collect that wood, repair that section that I had broken in there. Getting dark. And then tomorrow in game, we'll go to the dungeon. Still got some daylight left, so I think I'm actually going to work on building some more spikes around the base until it gets dark. Don't mind me, I'm just testing out my spikes, making sure they're nice and sharp. Yep, that's sharp. Cool. Perfect, see? Test well done. Here in this basement section here. Nice. I won't have that problem of running out of crafting station room. Okay, I need to put another one down there in the basement. Which I can do. It's no trouble. Oh wait, am I out of wood? I am out of wood. Okay. That's fine. Oops, miss. Hey, you can give me wood. Thanks. There's some over here too. Man. If I can close this up really quick. Oh, wait. Oh, right, I can't do that because of the crafting station thing. There we go. Alright, need to go get some wood out of the wood chest. I need to make a quicker way to get up there. Over here. Maybe I should build a little staircase over here. I can get by with this actually. I don't plan on coming down here much because this area floods. This is. Yeah, that's not too bad there. At least I'll have a quick and easy way to get in and out of the basement if I need to get down there for whatever. Okay, I need to get some more wood. Oh, I'm sorry. I just saw your comments there. Late commenter here, but really enjoyed all the stories you shared. My son has septo-optic dysplasia too, so can connect with all of the people going through the same thing with rare disease. Nice, yeah. Well, thank you very much, Arzana, or sorry, Arenza. Also, looks like a really cool game. Would love to try. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm doing a giveaway, so if you would like to enter to win, just please type. Oh, you already did. Sorry, you're one of the people that had typed giveaway before. Sorry about that. I didn't recognize your name for a second, but it's cool that you we have that shared rare disease connection with septo-optic dysplasia. Have we spoken before? I've chatted with some mothers of children that have septo-optic dysplasia before, so it's possible that you and I may have chatted, and I'm just not remembering your name, and I apologize for that. It's a lot to remember. But I'm glad that you were able to join me for the stream. Thank you for that. But yeah, it's a fun game, Valheim. I really enjoy it. And I'm excited to give away a free copy so that I can share the fun and excitement that is Valheim. And I'm sorry if it took me a minute to see your comment. I was in the zone. Sneak that right there. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to have reach, that's all. I think I might build some more gates back here for easy access. I guess I really don't need to have that there. Oh wait, this should do it actually. Aha! There we go. Alright, I hear a grayling yelling out there. Let's go get him. Where you at, buddy? I hear ya. There you are. Going for a swim? Is the water nice? I don't mind there being a little gap there, I guess that's... If I put that there, I might have difficulties walking over it, but we'll see. That's not too bad. But can I put one on top then? Because I know it can be a little tricky about that, and I would like to have a border. So... we'll see if it'll let me. If not, that's fine. Oh yeah, I can get in and out that way. That works. Cool. Oh yeah, I was repairing around the outside and I was going to put spikes. I'm getting attacked again. How dare! Stop it. I keep missing. There we go. Repairing all these from when this didn't have a roof on top of it before. Good. Okay, and I need to get some more wood. Start to get dark again. It's fine, I'll just leave all that wood there. Can't really get to it, so. That is where it will stay. I've got plenty in the chest anyway. It is getting dark, so instead of getting the wood, I'm just gonna get into bed. That way I'll be well rested for our dungeon excursion in the morning. How are we on food? Good. I'll eat breakfast in the morning. Yeah, that should be enough. Alright, you guys ready to take on a dungeon? I am. Fun fact, this will actually be my first one. I know I already have bronze tools, but those were gifts. I actually haven't made these, I've just been repairing them with my forge. It's still a little dark. See what I can do around the house. Those are still growing. Let's go see if that pig has gotten any more tame yet. Still at 9%. Are you bugged? At least I got one that likes me. Alright. Little concerned for that pig there. Oh well. Since it's a little dark out still, I'm gonna just work on changing some stuff around here. I made a new spot for those. Place them there. There's not enough room. Crap. That's fine, that's why we make renovations. Oh, need to repair the breakfast. This will be big enough. Yay! Seems like it. And I need to make some more room for the smelter. I had anything in here before. Cool. And I think I'm gonna change this around a little bit. What time of day is it? I wish I had a clock. I lost track of time. We should go out and go to that dungeon, shouldn't we? Let's go do that. Before I get distracted again with my building. We'll make sure everything is in tip-top shape. Okay. You're set? anyone who's just tuning in. This is a stream to raise awareness for Rare Disease Day, which is an advocacy holiday that is being observed today. Always on the last day of February each year. Sometimes February 29th, which is super rare. Other times, you know, like right now. Got you a regular old 28, but that's alright. But, to help raise awareness, I'm reading patient stories from the official RareDiseaseDay.org website in between playing Valheim here. Or rather, I'm playing Valheim in between doing that. I'll be getting back to reading more patient stories after I take a break here in a little bit. But if you're watching and thinking this game looks like fun, I've got some good news for you. Oh, is that a copper deposit? It is not. Got me excited for a second. Anyway, I'll be giving away a copy of this game. All you have to do is type giveaway in the chat. I'll be drawing that, and let's see, I'm getting ready to go on my break after I take on this dungeon. And I'll draw the game, or draw the name of the winner of the giveaway after. Oh boy, it's about to get intense. You guys ready for this? Oh wait, do I have a club in my inventory? I don't think I do. Shoot, I gotta build one really quick. Because skeletons need that blunt damage. I gotta go back. Darn it! It's getting late anyway. Sorry for that, guys. I came unprepared. Anyway, if you want to enter to win, just type giveaway in the chat. Anybody who puts in that keyword will win. You don't have to stick around if you don't want to. That's totally fine. But if you win, I'll let you know. I'll contact you. That way we can exchange Steam info. You'll have to add me as a friend on Steam because that's how I'm giving it away. But if you win, you'll get a free copy of Valheim. Just a little promotion that I'm doing to kind of get people engaged and get their attention so I can teach them about Rare Disease Day. But it's a lot of fun. And I appreciate you guys hanging out. So the plan for right now is make it back to my base, go to sleep first thing in the morning before I get distracted again. I'm gonna head towards that, or I'll make a club first, then head towards that dungeon. Oh, maybe I'll make a sledgehammer instead. I think I saw that crafting option. I bet that does a lot of good blunt damage. Anyway, we're gonna go to that dungeon and we're gonna take it on, see what that's like, and then when I'm done pillaging that dungeon, I'm gonna take my lunch break and play some videos telling you guys about Nord and what they do to help people. And then I'll come back, read some patient stories, and give away that game. Hips are doing well. I see a couple of wooden panels that I missed. Those are frying pans. Okay. Daylight left. I think I'm gonna go out there and put out those spikes that I was gonna put up before. I should have enough wood for that. We'll see. Perfect, but it's what we got to work with, so. Here we go. Ouch. Good news! spikes are sharp. Tested them myself. They'll do great. Oh, not a one. Okay. That didn't last long. See how those pigs are doing for me more food. I got plenty of food. You're still at 9%. Can you just chill? Alright. I might have to read up on farming later. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. I tamed the first one just fine. That one loves me. The other one's still warming up to me, I guess. After I'm gonna grab some cordwood on my way back from the dungeon if I have enough inventory space for it. But for now, I guess I can work on this part until the sun goes down. Honestly, this area is pretty well fortified. I could probably get by with not having to put up gates, but I'd rather stay on the safe side, honestly. so sorry that I wasted that entire day. I could have sworn that it looked like it was getting dark. I just misjudged it, apparently. Now the sun's definitely going down, right? Bother repairing this until I get the actual roof put over this part, which I am about to do. Before I forget, get that. Let's see if I can make that sludge. Or, yeah, let's see. Where's that? Does the club also does blunt 4? No. Blunt 12. Okay, so the club is better. Alright. Strange. Oh, okay. Club, I'll put that in here. Go ahead and keep the cultivator in here then. Alright, and I will be ready for the morning. Let's get some sleep. Take on that dungeon. I am ready. I think I'm ready. Let's do this. Looks like good weather for it today. Honestly, I should have rested back at my base until my health went back up. I wonder if I can rest here. Yeah, that'll do it. Okay. more slowly though. I'm gonna head back to my base really quick and let that stop. It'll be worth it to do. Well, actually no, it's recovering on its own. It'll be recovered by the time I get there. I'm learning these mechanics slowly but surely. So this will be my first time actually delving into a dungeon. The Metal Gear that I've got. Metal Gear. We're not playing Metal Gear today, but also a fun game series. But the metal stuff that I have was given to me by my partner Justin, who I play Valheim with quite a bit. So I've never actually gone into the dungeon myself. So I'm looking forward to this. It should be interesting. Did I hear Graylin? Skeletons in here. Let's do this. Leave those glowing mushrooms there for now. I hear skellies. Aha, nice. Cool, I found the elder spot. So I can defeat him in my world here. is pretty easy, actually. I thought it'd be a little bit more difficult. But then again, I mean, that would have been my first dungeon had I not been given this nice gear that I've got. So, I had a bit of an advantage. And we can get out of here now. Alright. Nice. Cool. Got an inventory full of good stuff to take back home. Oh hey, copper. Yeah, this is already on the map. I thought that I emptied that one out, but I missed some. Cool. I'll come back to that later. So when I get back to my base, I'm actually going to go on my break. And I'm going to be gone for about 15 to 20 minutes while I'll be playing some educational videos about Nord and what they do to help folks. And some a couple of videos about just general information about life with a rare disease and some statistics about rare diseases. It'll be really educational and informative and fun. When I come back, I'm going to read some more patient stories. And then I'll be ending the stream after that, and when I do end the stream, we'll do that giveaway, and one of you lucky folks will win a copy of Valheim. How you doing, piggies? Still at 9%. Well, maybe he's. Okay, before I go on my break, I'm gonna go ahead and sort the stuff out so I don't have to worry about that later. Okay. I need to make another mob drops chest. Go ahead and take these out. I can keep that stack in there for now. I probably won't need it for anything, but I've got room for it. I'll keep it. And put this in here. So I'll just kind of toss them out there. I can put those health potions back. So I really didn't need them anyway. Cool. Alright. I'm gonna go on my break. And I I hope you guys had fun watching me play Valheim for a little bit. I know I had fun playing it. I always do. If you want to watch me play more Valheim, I guess I'll go ahead and tell you. I do stream on Twitch also in the mornings. Actually, I'm thinking about changing that up. I shouldn't say in the mornings. Throughout the week, I stream on Twitch, so if you want to follow me there, you're welcome to. My username on Twitch is Insomnia Doodles, just as it is here on YouTube. Whoops, I did not mean to grab that zebra print. I meant to grab the window and drag it. Okay. So. Let me get those videos ready for you guys. But yeah, I'll be playing Valheim more often on my Twitch stream, is what I was saying before I distracted myself. So I've got these videos set up for you. In total, it's about 18 minutes worth of videos. I may come back, I may be a little bit later than that. We'll see. I do need to eat some lunch, so that's what I'll be doing. Just a quick bite to eat. I'm gonna reheat some beef stew that I made, which is really good. Maybe make a grilled cheese sandwich to go with it. It's gonna be great. But I'll be back here in a bit, and we will watch, or you guys can watch
If you
videos.
or someone you love has recently...
Sorry. Watch these videos in the meantime, and I'll be back when they're over, and I'll read some more patient stories, and then we'll do that Valheim giveaway. Before I go, let me see here. Okay, good. I can leave this. Edit this really quick. Excuse me for a second. Okay, we'll do this that way. Here, for anybody who wants to still enter to win a copy of Valheim, there's that reminder there. All you have to do to enter is put in that keyword giveaway in the chat, and you'll automatically be entered to win a copy of Valheim when I draw it at the end of the stream. Okay, I'm gonna go have lunch. You guys enjoy these videos. Thank you for hanging out. I'll see you again in about 20 minutes.
If you or someone you love has recently been diagnosed with a rare disease, you may be feeling alone and overwhelmed. A rare diagnosis can be a frightening and isolating experience, whether you are an adult patient or the parent of an affected infant or child. However, it's important to know that you are not alone as you begin your journey down this new road. Since 1983, the National Organization for Rare Disorders, NORD, has been a trusted partner to rare disease patients and caregivers, providing advocacy, education, patient assistance, and research on behalf of the 30 million Americans with rare diseases. NORD can help you learn about your condition, get involved in research, advocate for yourself and others, and gain the power that comes with knowledge. Here, based on our years of experience, are 10 things we recommend for the newly diagnosed patient or caregiver. Give yourself time to adjust. People sometimes tell us they go through a process similar to grieving following a rare disease diagnosis. It can be a time of reduced expectations or a new reality that is different from what you expected. You may feel a sense of loss or even grief. We encourage everyone coping with a new diagnosis to give themselves time and space to adjust and to seek counseling if needed. Connect with others who have the same diagnosis. It can be very helpful to share information, encouragement, and emotional support with others who have the same diagnosis. You can search NORD's list of members or our database of more than 1,000 patient organizations to see if there is one for people with your rare disease. Learn about your rare disease. Knowledge is power. By educating yourself about your rare disease, you become a more empowered patient. NORD's Rare Disease Database is a good place to start, with expert-reviewed reports in patient-friendly language. On our website, you can also learn about other great sources of information, such as the National Institutes of Health. Find a medical expert. If possible, Connect with a medical expert who has treated other patients with your rare disease. Many patient organizations provide information about medical experts or centers of excellence. It's important to find a physician who will listen to you and treat you as a respected partner. If you feel that your concerns are not being taken seriously, it may be time to search for another medical provider. Learn about research. Learn all you can about clinical research and what's involved in clinical trials. To find out if there are current clinical trials for your rare disease, visit clinicaltrials.gov or trialstoday.org. You can learn about medical research at NORD's annual summit or patient family conferences. NORD also hosts a platform for disease-specific patient registries and natural history studies. Join the broader rare disease community. There are 30 million Americans living with rare diseases and millions more around the world. NORD's slogan is, "Alone we are rare. Together we are strong." This reflects our philosophy that when we work together, we can accomplish greater progress for all. Become your best advocate. There may be many times when you will need to be an advocate for yourself or your loved one. You may have to explain why access to a certain treatment is important or advocate for additional diagnostic testing. Your role as a patient or caregiver may require that you trust your instincts and remember that while you are not a medical professional, you have expertise on your specific situation. Educate others. Some of the most effective educators about rare diseases are patients and caregivers. You know the impact of your disease on your life better than anyone else. NORD provides educational resources for patients, caregivers, students, medical professionals, and the public. You can help NORD educate others about the rare disease that affects you or your loved one. Learn about advocacy. Patients and caregivers play an extremely important role in public policy at both the state and federal level. Through NORD and its Rare Action Network, you can learn how to be an advocate for yourself and others. You can connect with other rare disease patients and caregivers in your state and local community for this purpose. Pass it on. One of the most remarkable things about the rare disease community is the way in which people who first seek to help themselves or their loved ones later go on to become very effective advocates and educators on behalf of others. The connections that you make through NORD and your disease-specific organization can help you have a positive impact on the lives of others who are diagnosed with rare diseases. Learn more about NORD on our website at www.rarediseases.org. Follow NORD on Facebook and Twitter. The 5 steps in the drug development process. There are 5 steps in the drug development process that, together, are designed to help ensure that potential new therapies are both safe and effective. Step number 1, discovery and development. Discovery is the exploratory phase where researchers are focused on understanding all of the ways that a rare disease affects patients and what potential approaches may stop, slow, or reverse the effects of a condition. Once a promising treatment option is found, researchers conduct experiments to find out how a therapy may work and how it might interact with other compounds in the human body. This is called development. Step number 2, preclinical research. During this phase, studies are conducted in the laboratory and in animals to focus on the most promising treatment candidates and delivery methods, determine whether they can safely be tested in humans, and establish an initial dosing level for clinical trials. This phase lays the groundwork for clinical trials that are most likely to bring patients the right drug in the right way in the right amount. Preclinical testing must follow specific processes and meet defined standards. Before beginning clinical research, drug developers must submit an investigational new drug (IND) application to the U.S. Food and Drug Administration (FDA) that includes all of this data to support starting a clinical trial. The IND must be reviewed and approved by FDA prior to any clinical research being initiated. Step number 3, clinical research. Clinical research refers to studies that involve testing treatments to determine their safety and effectiveness in humans. Researchers design clinical trials to answer specific research questions, with trials following a study plan called a protocol. FDA conducts ongoing reviews of the data to check that safety standards are met and benefit is likely before clinical trials are able to move from small-scale pilot studies to larger studies with more participants. Step number 4, FDA review. To start the review of a proposed new therapy, a drug developer submits a new drug application, NDA, or a biologics license application, BLA, depending on the type of treatment. FDA review teams examine all of the data collected from the start of preclinical research through completed clinical trials and make a decision to approve or not to approve the drug for a proposed population, depending on the benefits and risks of the therapy. In some cases, a decision can be made from the data submitted in the NDA or BLA, and in other cases, FDA may seek additional clarification on the data or input from an advisory committee. These committees include independent medical experts and patient representatives who can speak to the patient population's perspective on risk and benefit. Step number 5, post-market safety monitoring. After a new product is approved and available to the public, FDA continues to monitor it for any safety issues that might become apparent over time. This ongoing surveillance includes routine inspections of drug manufacturing facilities and programs that allow manufacturers, medical professionals, and consumers to track and report safety concerns about approved drugs. If new safety concerns are detected, FDA may require changes to the drug label to inform doctors and patients, and/or require that the drug be removed from the market. These are the 5 steps of drug development, and while this may seem like a long process, each step is important in order to protect the health and safety of all of us. Rare disease challenges in each stage of the drug development process. According to the Orphan Drug Act of 1983, any disease affecting fewer than 200,000 Americans is considered rare, and similar definitions and concerns occur worldwide. Of the more than 7,000 rare diseases, fewer than 10% have FDA-approved treatments. Developing drugs for rare diseases involves special challenges and considerations. Step number 1, discovery and development. Many rare diseases are still poorly understood, which makes it difficult to identify potential ways to treat the disease. Without a clear understanding of the cause and effects of the disease, it is challenging to know what might help. Even when a potential pathway to treatment has been identified, limitations on models where the therapy can be tested mean that development can be slow. Step number 2, preclinical research. In the rare disease space, preclinical research is often inhibited by limited funding opportunities, interest from researchers, and limitations in the models that researchers use to predict how a compound will affect humans. Step number 3, clinical research. Clinical research in rare diseases is challenging because small numbers of patients with a particular disease make it difficult to recruit enough patients to show definitively whether a therapy works. Even when patients can be found, they are geographically dispersed and may find it hard to travel while managing serious medical conditions. Many rare diseases also display great variation in how they manifest and progress, affecting different people in different ways. Many do not have well-defined and/or fit-for-purpose outcome measures and biomarkers. These measures are used to demonstrate impact and effectiveness in trials. And more than half of the patients with rare diseases are children. Conducting pediatric clinical trials in rare diseases comes with its own set of challenges. Step number 4, FDA review. Treatments being developed for rare diseases are called orphan drugs, and FDA may exercise some flexibility in their review, such as allowing smaller clinical trials. However, drug developers still must demonstrate that these products are safe and effective, just as with any other drug. The FDA review team may have to make its decision based on relatively small studies and with a limited understanding of the natural history or progression of the disease. The reliability and quality of the data are critical for FDA decision-making. Step number 5, post-market safety monitoring. After a new product is approved and available to the public, FDA continues to monitor it for any safety issues that might become apparent over time. This ongoing surveillance includes programs that allow manufacturers, medical professionals, and consumers to track and report safety concerns with approved products. RDCA DAP, shortening the timeline for developing new treatments for rare diseases. The Rare Disease Cures Accelerator Data and Analytics Platform, or RDCA DAP, is a resource through which researchers and drug developers can access and analyze data related to rare diseases and how they progress, leading to new insights about those diseases. It will also provide a way to develop new tools and processes to improve clinical trial design and empower the rare disease community. By aiding in each of the 5 steps of the drug development process, RDCA DAP will contribute to faster, more effective clinical trials and more rapid and cost-effective development of new drugs. Step number 1, discovery and development. By facilitating the sharing of different types of data from different sources, RDCA DAP can help researchers better understand the symptoms and progression of rare diseases. The data and tools provided by RDCA DAP will support researchers as they seek new ways to treat the disease or its symptoms, creating new opportunities to accelerate the development of new treatments. Step number 2, preclinical research. During this phase, companies and researchers need to prepare for clinical trials. The sharing of data in a centralized location, made possible by RDCA DAP, will help companies and researchers understand how to translate their research into a clinical drug development program. Data from the platform can help researchers understand what clinical outcome assessments and biomarkers may have been used in the disease previously or in related diseases, and the variance of those measures in the population. Data may inform us on how doses used in animal models will translate into humans and what changes in biomarkers may be needed to see a therapeutic effect. This will help companies design optimized clinical trials. Step number 3, clinical research. RDCA DAP provides researchers with the data and tools to develop a comprehensive understanding of rare diseases and how diseases progress, encouraging the development of innovative clinical trial designs that may require less time and fewer resources to complete. Data-driven models developed from existing sources can help researchers understand the potential effects of proposed new therapies on patients, variability in disease expression and progression, and may predict whether a clinical trial protocol will demonstrate an intended effect. Step number 4, FDA review. RDCA DAP provides data that contributes to the understanding of the natural history of rare disease and how it varies in the population in the absence of a therapy. This will help the reviewers determine whether a therapy is having an effect. Patient-reported data in RDCA DAP may also support a better understanding of the patient experience and how it may differ from one person to another. FDA reviewers will be able to access data from RDCA DAP to aid them during this step. Step number 5, post-market safety monitoring. RDCA DAP is being developed to combine existing data sources to create a more complete understanding and characterization of rare diseases. The existence of this centralized database, while not specific to post-market safety monitoring, may help FDA and drug companies better understand and resolve any concerns with new therapies as quickly as possible.
Every year on the last day of February, the National Organization for Rare Disorders joins together with others around the world to raise awareness of the challenges faced by people living with rare diseases. Achieving health equity is even more difficult for rare patients. To have equity in health means everyone has an opportunity to be as healthy as possible, regardless of social, geographic, economic, or other obstacles that may be working against them. At NORD, we appreciate your support, which allows us to work on issues like health equity and many others, and for our staff and volunteers to bring them to the forefront on Rare Disease Day.
From the volunteer state ambassadors, we would like to say thank you to all of our Rare Action Network supporters for helping us connect with rare patients and families in our states.
And thank you for allowing the Rare Action Network to raise important issues with state lawmakers on Rare Disease Day and throughout the year.
Did you know that in medical school I was told, when you hear hoofbeats, think horses, not zebras? But what about the more than 25 million Americans living with a rare disease? At NORD, we are humbled to provide help and resources to our zebras and their caregivers.
NORD support allowed me to catch up on some overdue bills, including my rent. Thank you for your support, NORD, and thank you for supporting Rare Disease Day.
From all of us at NORD, thank you for your dedication to the rare disease community on Rare Disease Day and every day.
Sorry, I forgot I was muted. Bumped my camera again. Sorry about that. But I'm back. I had a great break. Had delicious lunch. Thank you for bearing with me through that. Now let's get back to reading some patient stories, shall we? Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed those videos. I hope they taught you a little bit about what NORD does to help the rare disease community. And again, if you'd like to get involved, you can type !action in the chat at any time, and that will give you a link to a website that will tell you all about NORD's Rare Action Network, which is a program that they made here in the United States, where I'm at, where they're trying to get, oops, let me get rid of cat cam. They're trying to get advocates in every state to be state ambassadors. So I'm one of 2 state ambassadors for my state of Indiana. I just recently took on this volunteer position. I'm going to be doing this for the next 2 years. I'm very excited. I may continue after that, so we'll see. But basically what I'm going to be doing is communicating with the rare disease community, like I'm doing right now, through advocacy, outreach, and policy initiatives as well. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, check it out. You can also sign up for your newsletter for your state's Rare Action Network so that you can stay in the know about what's going on within the world of rare disease. So let's get back to reading some patient stories, shall we? Alright, so I'm going to mute myself for just a second while I move my tablet display over here so that you guys don't have any sound clutter for a second. One moment. And I'm gonna step away for just a second. I got something on my teeth. I'm gonna go get it out. And then we'll get back to reading some patient stories. So bear with me for a second, please. All right, I'm back. I got it. We are good to go. Okay, let me camera a little bit because I have to get really close to this screen to read these. Whoops. Hey, look at my house. Wonderful. Sorry, got some cord tangled mess going on here. Oh my goodness, this is so professional. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Hope you liked my house. Okay. Oops, come on, camera, you can focus. Focus on me, please. Oh, I broke it. I'll deactivate it and reactivate it, and that should reset that issue. Sorry, guys. Bear with me for just a second. There we go. Okay, sorry about that. We're good to go now, I promise. Okay, so back to these stories. Before my break, I read this before I started playing Valheim, I should say. I read this really great story from Blake. He's got a similar condition to mine. Actually, the same diagnosis of hypopituitarism. Actually, I've got panhypopituitarism, but close enough, really. But his was caused by a pituitary apoplexy from a pituitary tumor. So, it's a really great story. You wrote very well. So let's move on to Hannah's story, a young person's journey through IIH. Sorry, had another thing in my teeth apparently. Try not to be gross. Alright. So this is from Hannah, and she's got idiopathic intracranial hypertension. And they're from the UK. I was diagnosed a week after my 14th birthday. I had been suffering with terrible headaches 24/7 for a year after being unable to keep up attendance at school. I loved school. In the lead up to the diagnosis, I must have been to the doctor about 50 times, which was totally unlike me. I could count on one hand the number of times I had been to the doctor before. I couldn't stand the pain. It was excruciating. I had many tests and it was never believed. I was told to imagine a suitcase and a wheel and my headaches away in my suitcase by one such doctor. That's so frustrating. Sorry. And just really quick, I want to change something up here so that folks who want to enter that giveaway can see it. But it's so frustrating when your symptoms are written off as anxiety. I'm pretty sure anybody who's living through a rare disease has experienced that in one way or another from one doctor or another. If you haven't, you're lucky. But yeah, I've definitely been there, and it's no fun. That's good enough. Okay, back to the story. Yeah, so basically they were told that it was just all in their head. That's frustrating. In respect, it was, but not psychologically like they had thought. The prejudice of being a young person diagnosed with a rare condition, absolutely, has been and still is one of the toughest fights. Yes. Yes. The constant doubt by others and second guessing can really affect your well-being. Luckily, I had a very supportive family. One night, the pain got so bad, I went to A&E and was about to be sent home with antibiotics for sinusitis when they checked my eyes. The pain of the light the doctor shone on my eyes made me jump backwards and knock over a chair. Thank goodness for that doctor who said something isn't right here. A week of tests and scans and nothing showed. I was about to be discharged when the visiting consultant at the hospital came to see me. Oh, sorry. Realized I didn't have the chat up, so I wasn't able to read if you guys had said anything in chat, but now I can see it. We're good. He said we're going to do lumbar puncture to check for a condition I have seen before in another patient. You probably don't have this, but we have nothing left to test for. I remember going down to the anesthetic room, wanting to find answers when I wake up, but not wanting to this rare scary condition. My lumbar puncture showed high intracranial pressure on the brain, and I was diagnosed with benign intracranial hypertension. Later on, as more and more people became diagnosed, they changed the name to idiopathic intracranial hypertension, as some people lose their sight with the condition, which also causes chronic pain, as well as a wealth of other debilitating symptoms. On leaving hospital, I asked for some written or verbal information from the doctors on my condition. I was told they didn't have any, and to Google it. What? Doctors never say that. Alright. But when I did, there was very limited information, especially for children with the condition, as the average age of diagnosis was 30. When people I knew asked me about my condition, they would go quiet as they haven't heard of it and thought it can't be that bad, as I would surely have heard of it. 7,000 rare diseases would prove you wrong, people. I also had to be homeschooled because of the condition, and people were often dismissive because they didn't understand or recognize the condition and would compare it to other conditions, which were very different. That's frustrating. The other difficult thing is that there was no support groups locally, and I have only ever met one other person with my condition. My disease course has been even rarer, as I didn't respond to any of the medication to drain the fluid around my brain. Treatment options were very limited and often experimental. Every doctor I saw wanted to learn from from your scans to medical samples. I felt very passionately about people learning from me and progressing awareness around the condition. But being so rare, a little bit of your heart sinks knowing that progression was a long way off, and it wouldn't help your case for a long time, if at all. I had to have lumbar punctures every 3 weeks. Ow, wow. For nearly a year, and ended up having about 60. The ventricles in my brain were too small for me to the most common shunt in my head. Were too small for me to the most common shunt, the VP shunt in my head, to drain the fluid, so I had an LP shunt in abdomen. And then went back to the cycle of not being believed that the shunt wasn't working, and I was still having headaches. When I turned 16, I was transferred to adult services, where I was taken more seriously and able to take some ownership over my own care. I met a great team of doctors at Hurstwood Park who looked after me. One of the doctors sat down whilst I was lying in the hospital bed undergoing invasive tests. He said very sincerely, "I know it's been a long journey for you, and it's still going to be a long journey, but we're on this journey together. And after years of not being believed, I didn't feel 1 in 200,000. I didn't feel alone." That's a good little bit of statistic they threw in there. If you have a condition that is seen in less than 1 in 200,000, it's considered rare. Fun fact. Alright. Things went from strength to strength. They're still not perfect, but after a few more surgeries, I made it through school, college, and university. Nice! I'm still receiving new diagnoses of associated conditions such as chronic migraine and sleep apnea, and I still probably have many surgeries to come. Last one was last year. But I am now an educator of my condition. I've been lucky to have been involved with many projects and charities, including NHS Youth Forum and the Journey of a Lifetime Trust, who I had a life-changing journey to Africa, who've made me realize that I'm not so different from everyone else, and a person rather than a statistic. To all those amazing children and young people diagnosed with IAH, although the journey can be tough, there is hope. Not all stories are like mine. Everyone with this condition has their own story to tell. Hang in there and never give up. Very well said. Thank you for sharing that. That's awesome. Jonko123, thanks for joining and entering the giveaway. I'll be drawing the winner here in about... I'm going to read a few more stories. Might be about another 20 minutes or so. You don't have to stick around unless you want to. It'd be cool if you did. You could learn a little bit about rare diseases. We're here to celebrate Rare Disease Day after all. But I'll reach out to you if you win, whether you're here or not. So thanks for entering, though, and good luck to you. If you have any questions, or if you have a rare disease yourself and you'd like to share your experience, please feel free to leave a comment, and I would be more than happy to read that out loud for folks. Gonna make this chat a bit bigger for me since the text is super small. Cool, there we go. Alright. But Valheim is so much fun. If whoever wins it is going to have a blast. So good luck to you all. Okay. Alright. So that was Hannah's story. Her sharing her experience with idiopathic intracranial hypertension. So thank you for sharing that, Hannah. That was really insightful. And you definitely shared a lot of kind of similar tropes that a lot of folks with rare diseases go through. You know, second guessing yourself after, you know, being invalidated by so many doctors that tell you that it's all in your head, when physically, sure, like I said, physically it is, but it's not just psychological, right? That can be so frustrating. All right, so we're gonna read Cassie the Zebra's story. So 35 long years, written by Cassie, and she's got Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. I know a few folks with EDS, and this is a very interesting condition, so buckle in. Again, this is Cassie, EDS, United States. I hope I'm saying your name right, Cassie. Wish me luck. My name is Cassie Benowit, and I'm 57 years old. I was born and raised in New York, but moved to Las Vegas with my parents when I was 15. I always knew I was different growing up, but never knew why. I was double-jointed, seemed to get hurt easily, had a lot of aches and pains. My parents said were growing pains. Katrina, are you still here? I think you said something about that. Katrina, she was in the chat earlier. One of my friends that I know in person, she's got EDS. So, yeah, she heard the, oh, it's just growing pains excuse as well. Couldn't keep up with my friends, etc., but I muddled through childhood with no major issues. At 21, I was planning my wedding, a day I had dreamed of all my life. I suddenly began to have bowel issues, which I attributed to nerves with the upcoming celebration. However, it only worsened after the big day was over. The doctors ran some tests and told me I had irritable bowel syndrome. I read up on it and didn't really believe that's what it was, but I took the doctor's word for it. The medications didn't help. To make things worse, much worse, I started to have horrible panic attacks anytime I attempted to leave my house. I had to quit my job because of it. My life as I knew it turned upside down. The doctors told me the problems were all in my head and referred me to counseling. They convinced me that I was crazy. Deep down, I knew my problems were physical, not psychological. Again, you know, very common story among the rare disease community. Then the pain and fatigue began. Aches and pains from head to toe with no apparent reason. I never knew how I'd be feeling from day to day. I had no energy to do anything anymore, and this led to depression. After 7 years of suffering, I stumbled onto an article in a magazine one day about lupus. We didn't have home computers and internet back then. Tears filled my eyes as I could so relate with many of the symptoms. I scheduled an appointment with a rheumatologist, praying that this was my answer. She was the first of many doctors who seemed to take my complaints seriously. She ran a test for lupus, but it came back negative. Another disappointment for me. I didn't want to be sick, but I knew that I was, and I just wanted and needed answers. The rheumatologist diagnosed me with fibromyalgia. Back then, it was barely heard of. I tried to accept that diagnosis and get on with my life, but I knew they were missing something. Another very common story. Folks can go years, if not decades, before getting the proper diagnosis of a rare disease. So it's, yep. A lot of folks can feel your pain there. I continued to live many years just trying to take life one day at a time. I had a very supportive husband who I depended on for so much. I raised 2 amazing kids and now have 2 beautiful grandchildren. I tried to focus on all the positive things in my life. About a year and a half ago, while bending over one day, I pulled my piriformis muscle. I've never heard of that one before. Just another weird thing that always seems to happen to me. The doctor ordered an MRI, and when the results came back, I was told I have Tarlov cysts on my spine. I had never heard of those, so I began to research. Most doctors believe that they're asymptomatic and sometimes won't even be mentioned if seen on an MRI. I got lucky. I joined an online support group and learned that a lot of people with these cysts also had another rare disease called Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. This changed my life. Shortly after I began my research, I just happened to have appointments with an orthopedic surgeon, a physical therapist, and a dermatologist for a skin condition called granuloma annulare. I mentioned EDS to all of them. They each gave me a quick look over and highly recommended that I see a geneticist to be tested. That got the ball rolling. My doctor set me up with a phone consultation with a genetic counselor. She asked me a ton of questions. Although I was adopted as an infant, I had located my birth family years ago and knew some of the history. That's lucky. My birth mother died from a ruptured aneurysm at 54 years old. She too had been diagnosed with fibromyalgia years prior, and 2 of her sisters also died young from ruptured aneurysms. Perhaps they had EDS and never knew it. I know from someone else that I know that's in the support group that I run every Sunday, which I'll mention before the stream ends. One of the folks that regularly comes to this group has a form of EDS that can cause aneurysms. So that's scary. My insurance company couldn't find anyone to diagnose or treat me here in Las Vegas. After several failed attempts to send me to California, they finally found a doctor in Phoenix who specializes in EDS. I waited 3 months for my appointment with Dr. Saperstein and prayed that he would finally have answers for me. I knew that he would be my last chance. He examined me from head to toe, had me bend in ways that I didn't know I could bend, and asked me so many questions. I scored 9 out of 9 on the Baton scale. He almost immediately diagnosed me with hypermobile Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. That was the moment that changed my life, the diagnosis I fought to get for 35 long years. Whoops! Oh, I just knocked my cover off my microphone. 1 second, sorry. Well, let's stick this back on there. Sorry if you hear a little foop. Okay. It should be good now. It's only been a little over a year since finding out that I'm a zebra, but it was the missing puzzle piece to my life. I never gave up looking for answers, and this made such a big difference for me. When it comes to our health, we are our own best advocates. Keep fighting for yourself. Find others with Ehlers-Danlos syndrome on Rare Connect, the online platform where people affect. Rare Connect, I've never heard of that. I'm gonna look that up. Cool. But, yeah, that was... What was her name again? Yeah, that was Cassie's story. Thank you, Cassie, for sharing your story. It's definitely one that I've heard a lot, especially from EDS patients. Very, very similar stories, for sure. I'm glad that you were finally able to get a diagnosis. I'm sorry it took so long to get there. Again, pretty common, unfortunately, but very well written, and thank you so much for sharing your story. That really helps people, for sure. And in her picture here, it says, I'm a zebra. So let me explain what the whole zebra thing is. I'm sure you've noticed the zebra stripe motif. I'm wearing stripes today. Hashtag show your stripes. You can share that up there on Twitter and, you know, find other people wearing their stripes today. So people in the rare disease community refer to themselves as zebras. They're kind of a mascot for the rare disease community. I've got a little zebra friend around here somewhere. Oh, he's hiding from me. Darn it. Well, oh, there he is. I got this as a gift from Nord, from the Living Rare, Living Stronger Patient Forum. Little zebra here. So in the medical community, there's an old adage. When you hear hoofbeats, think horses, not zebras. That essentially teaches doctors to look for the most common, most likely diagnosis. And while that makes sense for most patients, it can cause people with rare disease to go a very long time before getting the proper diagnosis because, you know, looking for horses instead of zebras, you're not going to be looking at those rare diseases. So that's why we call ourselves zebras. We're those zebras. So, show your stripes. Zebra it up. I got my zebra coffee cup, zebra shirt, beret, and my whole motif here on the stream. If you want to show your stripes, again, share that on Twitter. It'd be cool. While you're there, use the hashtag Rare Disease Day as well. Let's spread the word. Okay, so I think I've got enough time and energy for one more story. And after that, we'll do the giveaway. Speaking of that giveaway, I am giving away a free copy of the game Valheim, which I was playing a little bit earlier. It's a survival crafting game with a Viking motif, and it is so much fun. It's in early access, but it's pretty polished. I've been playing so many hours of it, and I'm eager to give away a copy so you guys can enjoy it too. Okay, so this one is CML. Chronic myeloid leukemia. I think I remember reading about this one last year as well. This is written by Chris in Australia. In July 2020, I was admitted to a hospital in terrible pain coming from my back. After CT scans, it showed that I had 3 bulging discs. Obviously, routine blood tests were taken, and only 48 hours after I was admitted, a hematologist came to see me. It was 10:30 a.m. on a Sunday morning, and I was on my own in my room. He told me I had chronic myeloid leukemia and gave me an information booklet. Knowing leukemia was a blood cancer and not a good diagnosis, I asked him, how long have I got? He explained that the treatment had been available since 2001, and most people in treatment were still alive, so that brought me to my second question. What about my quality of life? He was honest and said, well, everyone is different with how their bodies cope with the drug, so side effects are different for everyone. He explained that he would be starting me on dasatinib, I hope I said that right, and the worst side effects were that it's possible to affect your heart and lungs, so I'd be very closely monitored by a cardiologist. The first month I took 100 milligrams a day and responded very well, so dropped to 50 milligrams a day. So far I'm meeting all of my milestones and hope to be undetectable at my next appointment with the hematologist in April. The first 6 months of treatment was tough, with nausea and fatigue, but the last couple of months have been better. It was a mental battle coming to terms with my diagnosis too, and I had some dark days. Now I'm starting to feel more confident, but I'm still very aware of my body, my body could stop responding to treatment at any time, but that there are 4 other drugs that could help me. Nasty possible side effects are always in the back of my mind. Having said all that, I'm feeling very thankful and very optimistic for the future. Well, thank you for sharing that, Chris. I appreciate you taking the time to share your rare disease experience with the rest of us. It really does help. Alright, well, we had a pretty great stream, I think. Before I close things up here, I'm going to get this back over here. Alright, I did that without much fanfare. Great. I'm gonna show you guys the NORD website really quick. So, over here, this is the National Organization for Rare Disorders. This is the nonprofit that supports folks with rare diseases that I'm an official volunteer for. I'm not here on an official scale for them today. This is just my personal live stream. They're, not supporting or endorsing this stream in any way. So I'm not here on official scale. Want to make that very clear. But I do volunteer for them officially outside of this. So, if you're interested in supporting rare disease nonprofits in observance of Rare Disease Day, I would highly recommend going to rarediseases.org. You can type !NORD in the chat, and you'll get a link to this. And right up here is a donate button. And if you go here, you can donate any amount of your choice to help support patients with rare disease. I'm actually going to be making a donation tomorrow when I get paid. I also stream on Twitch, and I get ad revenue from there, and I pledge that any revenue that I make on Twitch throughout the month of February, I would donate to NORD for Rare Disease Day, and I'll be doing that tomorrow. I was able to get about $25, so that's not too bad. Alright, so, yeah, that's NORD. There are all sorts of really great resources here for patients and families. You can learn about the Rare Action Network over here in the Get Involved section. They've got, the NORD store, great stuff here. I actually need to get some of these things myself. I like these shirts. Actually, I do really like the show your stripes design on that hoodie there. I think I'm gonna get one of those. I think I will. I will get one of those. That'll be nice. Okay, and take action locally. Here you go. Join the Rare Action Network. So this is what I volunteer through. The Rare Action Network, right here. And you can go to this website by typing !action in the chat. It'll take you to NORD's Rare Action Network website, and you can learn all about it here. I played a video for this earlier explaining what it is, so I won't add any more time going on about that again, but it's great. I really highly recommend joining. If you don't want to volunteer your time, that's totally okay. I totally understand. Life gets busy. But you can sign up for our newsletter, and we'll keep you up to date on what's going on within the rare disease community. And there are also monthly discussion groups that meet up in most states. We're trying to get it going in every state, but it's a work in progress. But you can meet up with other patients of rare diseases within your state and just chat. It's a lot of fun, and I've really enjoyed the ones that we've done in Indiana so far. Got more to come. So keep an eye on that. I think that's all I've got. You guys ready for the giveaway? It's time to give away a free copy of Valheim. Let's do it. Okay, so looks like right now people that have entered are Aranza G, Jonko123, and Yubster. I'm going to give you guys 30 seconds here. So for the next 30 seconds, if you're watching the stream and you would like to get a copy of Valheim, you know what, we'll make it longer than 30 seconds, actually. Let's hop over to this video thing, and I will play that Valheim trailer again for you guys. Here. And after the Valheim trailer, I will go ahead and draw that giveaway. That way it gives you guys a chance to put giveaway in the chat if you'd like to join, or if you'd like to enter to win. 1 second. Come on, YouTube. Oh, come on. So after this trailer plays,
choose great.
After this ad plays,
taste.
sorry, just a second. Wait for this ad to go through. We'll watch the trailer. Let me let's pause this for a second. I can unmute that. Get this image up here so anybody who pops in can see that we're doing a giveaway. Here we are. Drop that right here, and all right, enter to win. Just type giveaway in the chat. That's all you have to do. That keyword will get you 1 free entry into the giveaway. 1 per person, by the way. If you spam it, it's not gonna matter. So just one per person. Good luck, and here's the trailer. That was probably too loud for you guys to hear me. I apologize. We are getting ready to do the giveaway for Valheim. If you put giveaway in the chat, that keyword will enter you to win a copy. So good luck to everybody who enters. As soon as this trailer is over, we're gonna draw the winner. So you've got until the end of this video to get giveaway in the chat. So good luck. All right, that's that. Let's see who's lucky. Let me get the proper window up here so you guys can see. Where is that? Not showing up. That's strange. There it is. Okay, cool. Now you guys can see. Alright, it is time for that giveaway. Again, good luck to everybody. People who are entered to win is Arzana G, Gaming On, Jonko123, and Yubster. Thank you guys for hanging out. Hopefully you learned a little bit of something about Rare Disease Day. Check out the hashtag Rare Disease Day throughout the day to see more content from folks sharing their experiences with rare diseases. Of course, the VOD for this is going to be up as soon as the live stream is over, I think. It may take a minute, I'm not sure. But if you missed anything and you'd like to see the whole event and how it went, please, I didn't mean to rhyme there, but hey, I'll take it. But please feel free to do so and learn a little bit about Rare Disease Day. If you've got a few bucks to spare, please consider donating to a rare disease nonprofit of your choice. All right, should we do it? Let's do it. Good luck, everybody. Gaming On, you are the winner of Valheim. Man, you got lucky popping in there at the end. Awesome. All right, so I'll be in touch with you. I'm giving it away through Steam, so you're gonna have to add me as a friend on Steam. But hopefully you don't mind doing that. My username on Steam is Insomnia Doodles, so if you send me a friend request, I'll send you a message as well on YouTube, just in case you're not here at the moment. But congrats, you won. I'm gonna get you that copy of Valheim as soon as I possibly can. I'll get all that taken care of. You will have it tonight, I promise. Everybody else, thank you for entering, and thanks for hanging out and learning about Rare Disease Day. Again, every year, I do this every year. It's so much fun. And I'll see you guys again for this next year, and keep an eye out for other rare disease advocacy stuff, because I'm sure I'm going to be doing more. If you like Valheim, I also stream Valheim. I'll be doing that on Twitch throughout the week. My Twitch username is Insomnia Doodles. Oh, you're welcome! Oh, I'm so happy that you seem so excited. Yay! That makes me really happy. I love doing giveaways. It's so much fun. But yeah, thank you for entering and checking out the stream. Please consider checking out the Rare Disease Day hashtag. Go to rarediseases.org to learn about NORD, the organization that I volunteer for outside of the stream. And support your rare disease friends. Show your stripes. Wear stripes today. It's fun. Alright. Well, thank you guys so much again. That's the stream. Gaming on. We'll be in touch, and I'll get you your Valheim. Awesome. Thank you guys so much. I had a blast. I really don't want to end this, but I need to conserve those spoons. Alright, I'll see you guys later. Thank you again so much. It was amazing.